Alrighty, test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me okay? I ran 2 softball games this week with no disconnects, so we're gonna hope that it's.
So we're due.
So we're gonna hope that it works tonight. And don't curse it, Garrett, but we have done 2 games without disconnects. All right, cool. Alrighty, so I'm about to call you. I'm actually just gonna call you over the cell phone. And a very good evening to you and yours. We are out here in Springfield, Missouri once again. Of course, Kickapoo High School for today's high school football matchup. The Waynesville Tigers set to take on the Kickapoo Chiefs. It's Connor Harbert here with you, Z102.3. Joining alongside me tonight is my partner, Garrett Bowles. Garrett, a loss last week to Camdenton, a rather large loss, but of course we knew this was going to be a tough stretch of games, and it doesn't get any easier here tonight, taking on a fellow 1-2 team in Kickapoo.
It doesn't. I think 1-2 is a different story with Kickapoo. They went up against Lebanon, one of the best teams in the Ozarks Conference, and really all of Missouri, people are saying. And Camdenton, who is obviously, as we saw last week, one of the better teams in the Ozark Conference as well. Not all 1-2s are created equally. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most important thing to note in this pregame and as we move on into the start of this game, this 1-2 for Kickapoo, 2 losses to very, very good teams, and that 1 win, very, very impressive, that shutout win against Hillcrest back in week 1. So Hillcrest's going to be hungry. Hopefully Waynesville's hungry as well, coming off of that loss last week to Camdenton, but still with a little bit of positive momentum going from that victory over Parkview. You know you want to come in here and help ruin senior night as well. It is senior night here for the Kickapoo Chiefs. I know back in my high school football playing days, always kind of want to play spoiler a little bit as well. So they're down there honoring the seniors right now. Very large senior class here for Kickapoo. This is a Chiefs team with a lot of experience, and of course you'll hear about that in just a few moments. We have a couple coaches interviews here for you today, but do want to go ahead and remind you once again that Waynesville going to make it 2-2. You win this one today, you get back to 500, and then you're looking towards that matchup with Lebanon, and then maybe have a little bit of confidence. This is an important game for Waynesville.
It's a very important game. Waynesville has a chance to already equal their win total from last season, of course 2-8 on the year. Last year, this game could be a huge confidence boost going up against a tough Ozarks Conference opponent. Next week, it's going to be interesting to see how long they hang in there and if they can eventually get the win here tonight. Kickapoo, again, a very, very good team. Waynesville is going to have to be on top of their game to stay in it and get the W tonight.
Yeah, and of course our very own Marv Luton got a chance to speak with head coach Kyle Barkley of the Waynesville Tigers a little bit earlier on. So we're going to go ahead and toss it on over to that interview. We're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. We'll have that interview for you, and then we'll be back in another 60 seconds after that. So back here in 4 minutes, 27 minutes here to game time. Again, here at the site of Kickapoo And once again, welcome back here to the site of Kickapoo High School. We are 23 minutes away from the start of today's high school football contest. Again, the Waynesville Tigers trying to get back to 500 on the season, taking on the similarly record, the 1-2 Kickapoo Chiefs. It's Connor Harbin here with you today, of course, joined by Garrett Bowles. You just heard our very own Marv Luton talking with Waynesville head coach Kyle Barkley, and you heard it there. Still a team with a few injuries, and of course we can confirm a few. We can kind of see some of the players down there who are not dressed out. Tal Ossie is still not back. You don't have Vander Bradford once again. That's a big loss. But again, you have some players who are stepping up rather well, and even heard Coach Barkley say some players stepping up in positions that they maybe didn't expect to play this season.
Yeah, that's something that Coach Barkley talked about almost immediately, was the versatility that he wants with this offense and with this defense throughout the year. And I'm sure Barkley didn't want injuries to be the reason that versatility shows, but nonetheless, football is football. We're going to have some people go out. The next man up mentality has been very impressive with the Tigers so far, even though the record might not reflect it quite yet. Very impressed with their ability to get it up and keep it going here.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, most notably, you've had some players step up in the backfield. Michael Bradley Jr., he has had himself a pretty stellar year after kind of coming in there. We knew he was going to get a little bit of time, played a lot in that jamboree all the way back in the preseason, but he's gotten a little bit more playing time than maybe we expected him to get this season. He's made the most of it. Of course, you have the two quarterbacks as well, David Vernon, Bishop Godwin. They looked pretty solid at times. The whole come back in, come back out kind of thing. Even did a little bit through the air as well. So you've got some players in the back, and then you've got some players up front as well who are looking to kind of continue their improvement. Again, this Waynesville offense at times looked good, just needs to finish off some drives. I think that's the takeaway we took from last week.
I think it absolutely is. You can put yourself into a position whenever you have a run-first offense like the Waynesville Tiger has, where you can move the ball down the field very successfully, but one penalty or one huge broken play is going to set you back, and then it's very difficult to get back into the drive, get back into the ball game after that. They've ran into those problems a few more times to be a consistent offense, but I think those problems can kind of subside as the season goes on, as the team gets more disciplined.
Absolutely. And so, of course, on the defensive side as well, honestly, after a few missteps to begin the game, I personally thought the Waynesville defense looked rather impressive. Of course, you don't want to take too many moral victories away. You still did give up 41 points last week, but at times, the defensive line, they were creating pressure all night. They were forcing Camdenton quarterback Bear Shore to make some plays that maybe he wasn't expecting to have to make. So, of course, you got the defensive line. The secondary was able to cut down the penalties a little bit against a very pass-heavy Camdenton attack. So, look to continue improvement in those areas. That's what I'm looking for from the Waynesville defense tonight.
It absolutely is. You have to stay disciplined and stay kind of going in the right direction, which we saw them do last week. Like we've said several times throughout these broadcasts, Barkley by no means expected to come in and go undefeated throughout every single game this season. We all knew that this was going to be a team that is kind of rebuilding, a team that is kind of retooling throughout the years. A lot of new players, a lot of new faces, some new schemes coming into the season, and we had some early penalty trouble at the beginning of the year with pass interference, but you can see the pieces start to move together, and whether or not they come together all the way this year, I think it's a bright future for the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, no game is unwinnable. You do come into this game predicted to be the underdog, of course, but this is a game I think that if you come out strong, you maybe take some time off the clock with your run-first attack, you pick up a touchdown or two on your first couple of drives, you have a fighting chance here in this one. And of course, as we saw, and like I said, this Waynesville offense, they can push the ball. It's just a matter of getting that ball into the end zone. You know what they say, though, good defenses, they stand firm, and we know Kickapoo, they have a very good defense.
They have a very good defense, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in just a little moment with my interview with Coach Nate Thomas of the Kickapoo Chiefs. But yeah, this defensive line for Kickapoo, very, very impressive. However, the inside run game for the Tigers has been a strong strength throughout the season, overcoming great defenses like Parkview and like the Camdenton Lakers, who we saw. The points don't reflect that necessarily, but the yardage has been very impressive for this rushing offense.
Yeah, and so, of course, we will go to your interview now with Kickapoo head coach Nate Thomas. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes or so. The Kickapoo marching band coming out onto the field. When we come back, we'll be about 8 minutes away from kickoff, currently about 18 minutes away. We'll come back in just a few moments. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Once again, welcome back here to the site of Kickapoo High School up in the skybox here today. Connor Harvey here with you, Z102.3. And of course, joining alongside me is Garrett Bowles. Of course, you heard Garrett. He got a chance to talk with Kickapoo head coach Nate Thomas. And as you can hear, very, very proud of his defense. That's kind of the calling card of these Chiefs. It's going to be a tough challenge for Waynesville tonight.
He is so far throughout the 3 games they've played, the Chiefs only allowing 18.3 points per game. That's very impressive, especially when you compare it to Waynesville's defense, 37 points allowed per game. They're going to have to step up significantly in this game if they want any chance of staying with it and coming out with the W. The defense looks fantastic, and at least a lot of it, rests on the shoulders of the senior defensive end, Andrew Link. Gosh, can that guy play? I got to watch some game film with him a little bit earlier in the week, and I was severely impressed. You know, when you hear things about high school players, you hear things from different media outlets, from coaches, from other players, and you can never really quantify how good a player is until you see him for yourself. I have seen this young man for myself, and I am going to go ahead and call it. He is the real deal, and he's going to be a factor tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be sticking around in the area. He is a Missouri State commit, had a bunch of offers from a bunch of different schools, elected to stay right here in Springfield where he will be playing for the Bears next fall. Always love to see the local talent stay home, but of course he had offers from all over the country. This is one of the better players we are going to see this season for sure. Our season, as young as it's been, we've seen some talented players. Link is right up there with the best. So he's going to be a player to watch out for, but this Kickapoo team, they're not just limited to Link. They've got other players as well at almost every position.
They really do. The secondary is full of ball hawks. They can make a turnover out of almost any play. Waynesville's going to want to stay in this one throughout. That way, the passing game doesn't have to be a necessity. It can be a factor, but when you start making it a necessity, you have guys in the Kickapoo secondary like Samias Pickett and Tyrus Schertz who will pick you off if you give them the opportunity. And, of course, turnovers, no bueno, according to Coach Barkley.
Well, you say Pickett. I'm actually looking down there on the field right now here, Garrett, and it looks like Pickett is not dressed out here at the moment. Number 24, he's down there at about the 50-yard line, not dressed out. So we will see if that kind of develops here today. So that would be quite a big loss here for the Chiefs. But we know they have players who can step up. Last week actually a couple weeks ago against Camdenton, I should say, did not have their quarterback, still played the Lakers very, very close. So it's a talented squad, it's a deep squad, and it's an experienced squad as well. While you were talking about Link, I went ahead and counted up all the seniors because I know you and I were curious. There are a total of 23 seniors on this roster. This is easily the most experienced squad we will see this season. So, well, we'll see. We'll see how Waynesville stacks up here today. Of course, they're out onto the field. They're warming up. I'm sure they are ready to go. I'm sure you're ready to go, Garrett. I am ready to go. And, of course, I'm sure everybody listening at home or in the car or anywhere really is ready to go as well. So we're going to take ourselves one final timeout, I'd say. We'll take one final timeout. We will come back in 2 minutes. Back in 2 minutes, we'll have the coin toss, and we'll be ready to go. Again, week 4 of the high school football season, Waynesville and Kickapoo. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And back here once again at the site of Kickapoo High School. Our two teams are 8 captains today meeting at midfield. So our coin toss underway as we again approach the start of today's game. Waynesville on the road. First of 2 straight games on the road. Tonight taking on the Kickapoo Chiefs. Connor Harbin here with you, Z102.3, right alongside Garrett Bowles. I'm glad you joined me here on Friday. Hopefully you've joined me for several of the broadcasts we've had on Z102.3 this week. I've been a busy bee, but of course Garrett joining me here tonight as well. We're moving on past the softball, at least for now, to call some nice gridiron action as our captains once again meet here. It looks like at least one of the captains for Waynesville, that'll be Nico Fowl, trying to get numbers on the other 3 down there. But I can tell you the Kickapoo captains down there, you've got Jackson Young, who of course is a senior. You've got Samias Pickett, who again is not dressed out to play here today. Kind of a recent development. You may have even heard during that coach's interview talking at length about Pickett and what he brings to this program. So that might be a recent development. You also have Peyton Blecha as well. And then of course you have Andrew Link. He's going to be that 4th and final captain here for Kickapoo. So our coin toss looks like, well, we'll see. It looks like it will be Kickapoo who wins the toss. They defer to the second half, which means Waynesville will receive the opening kickoff. And of course, this coin toss is brought to you by Security Banks. Toss your coins in Security Bank and watch your money grow. We all love money for sure. I'm sure you love money, Garrett. I love money. And I love getting money to call football. And that's about what we're doing here. I hope you're excited. Are you excited, Garrett?
I am so excited. Money or no money at this point. I'm just so excited. I was thinking to myself, I meant to bring this up to you a few moments ago, and I got kind of taken aback. This is a beautiful, beautiful night. There's a couple of clouds in the sky. Nothing too crazy, though. The sunbeams raining down on the Kickapoo. Brown and yellow looks absolutely gorgeous out there right now. I am a fan of the Kickapoo Chiefs Stadium. I told you earlier this was one of my favorite press boxes we've seen, other than the home field Tiger Stadium, of course, and this has been a fantastic night so far, but it is only going to get better as Kickapoo runs out on the field for a receiving formation to grab the kickoff, and the Kickapoo Chiefs take the field to, well, kick.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 men back to receive here for the Tigers. And, of course, set to kick it away here for Kickapoo. It looks like that is going to be Lamont McKinney, one of those 22 seniors on this Kickapoo roster. Again, don't know how to maybe compare it all, but there's a lot of them. I'm sure it's one of the most experienced rosters we'll see here this season. So the kick is away, and we're underway here in Springfield, again, the site of Kickapoo High School. Opening kickoff going to be received about the 5-yard line. It's going to be David Vernon on the return. Excuse me, no, not David Vernon, rather. How about Brandon Howard on the return? He's going to have a solid one. He gets to about the 24, 23-yard line or so, but it looks like he may have coughed up the football here, Garrett. Kickapoo signaling that they have it. No indication just yet.
Some players jumping, no confirmation.
Players jumping
from the
around,
officials.
Yeah. Our officials are gathered here together. Must have been a late fumble. Howard was falling with the football, and it looks like we'll see the Waynesville offense is out on the field. And it looks like it will be Waynesville football. So, Waynesville does recover the fumble. Or no, or do they? Wait a second. We're getting some shifts out there.
Not the smoothest
Players
start to
on
the
and
ball
off.
game.
Yeah, not the smoothest start here. Not the clearest start. And actually, it looks like we're just going to set up and do it all over again. So,
I'm not sure which type of penalty or calls. Just call for a do-over, but
yeah, it's not going to be a penalty that really marks Kickapoo back. They've got it at the 40-yard line here at the moment. But we will be back to receive here once again. And now Kickapoo going to march off to the sideline. I'm going to be honest with you, Garrett. I am a little bit confused here to start this one. Not quite sure what it could be all about. What we do know is we're going to run it back, kicking off in the 40-yard line.
yeah, you know, you see the NFL and the college game day broadcast. They have a direct line to the officials at times. We do not have any of those sorts of technological advances with us here. But regardless, it seems like we're ready to kick, and for the second time tonight, the game looks to be beginning.
Yeah, we'll reset that clock to 12 minutes, so forget the last 2 or 3 minutes. what's important is now, as it's going to be Bryce Brown set to kick it away. Brown, a dedicated kicker-punter for the Chiefs. Kickoff to the right-hand side this time, going to be fielded about the 12. On the return, it's going to be Chase Thomas Plummer. He tries to go to his side, tries to go to the right, but he's going to be taken down. And our second time is not going to go as well for Waynesville. They're going to find themselves starting this one at the 11-yard line.
And stopping him at the 11-yard line there was Tyrus Schertz. We talked about him. He's the safety for the Kickapoo Chiefs, and he was one of the first guys that Coach Nate Thomas brought up to me. Didn't expect him to be a great special teams player. I just didn't really expect any of the stars to be on special teams sometimes. Yeah. But you know what? I mean, he fired down the field, and if that's a sign of things to come, Waynesville should be a little nervous right now. Yeah, we know Kickapoo, they take pride in their defense, their tackling ability, and otherwise it's going to be a carry here on first down, moving forward to about the 20-yard line or so, maybe the 19. It's going to be a good gain here. Michael Kelsey Jr. starting things out again here today. Of course, we mentioned him in the pregame. He's been one of those players who stepped up. Solid gain here. Second down and 1 upcoming. And that's exactly what you want to do. You had the awkward start. You had a bad return. Kelsey coming in there and just getting the ball moving. Positive yards so important to this team now at their 20, 19-ish, and there's some trouble brewing for the Chiefs defense right now. Thomas Plummer, the wing back here, is Waynesville going to do some pre-snap adjusting. Ball in the middle of the field here, again on the 20-yard line, 2nd and 1. Direct snap here to Kelsey Jr. He cuts through into the second line. He'll have the first down. He'll get to about the, looks to be about the 26-yard line. So Kelsey Jr., a couple big gains here to get their first down. First down on the day, Waynesville. And that's a big one. The first down always kind of feels like a first kiss, you know? There's a lot of stress coming into it, but now that it's over with, you can keep on rolling with some confidence. I can't even remember mine, so let's not bring that up right now. So first down and 10, ball on the 26-yard line. You got me blushing up here. It's the first quarter. Already a minute gone by, 10:50 left to go in this first quarter. Thomas Plummer, the wing back to the left-hand side. It's a direct snap. The quarterback going to carry. That's David Vernon. Able to sneak around here, getting past the 30-yard line to about the 32, 33 or so. Nice little medium yardage pickup. Looks like he got a bit of a stretch there at the end. How about a gain of 7? Second down and 3. And that's what he can do for this offense. I love the last-minute effort. We didn't really see that a whole lot in the first 2 games. They've been kind of pushing forward, the Tigers have now, not really giving up on the play until the whistle's blown. That's so important, especially for a run-first offense. So another second down and short here. This time, second down and 3, ball on the 34. Handoff, Chase Thomas Plummer going around the right end. He looks to have it. He'll have himself 3 or 4. First down once again. Waynesville pushing the ball here early on. Yeah, and especially after an awkward, again, start with the kickoff that might have been a fumble, a very, very almost devastating, a drive-killing kick return there at the beginning of the game. They've really shown, like they have against Camdenton and Parkview and all of the other teams they've faced, that they are not going to back down from adversity. Yeah, moving the ball rather well. First down and 10. 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Man sent in motion. Vernon takes a snap, and it's going to be a handoff to Kelsey Jr., who dives forward. Gain of about maybe 4 or so. How about second down and 6? Keeping the ball moving right there. Got to get behind Andrew Link. Not a factor quite yet. I told you before the game I wouldn't be surprised if I let out a couple oohs every time he gets hit. Yes. He's a big guy, and he can make his presence felt. Right now, Waynesville doing a good job of kind of neutralizing his talent. Second down and 6. Direct snap, Kelsey Jr. moving to his left-hand side, trying to sneak around what was the blitzing safety. Coming in hot there on that play, that was Tyrus Schertz. Able to sneak around, though, dives forward, gets maybe a yard more, maybe 2, and it'll set up a third down, first third down of the drive, third down and 4. Yeah, and Schertz, we talked about him a lot with Coach Thomas about the pass defense. I had no idea he could fly like this. I mean, my goodness, he's coming at the ball carrier with abandon, and if he can't bring him down, he can definitely slow him down. Then the other teammates pick up the slack. Yeah, able to slow him down here. Here's the next ball. Bishop Godwin trying to take it himself, but he's going to be stopped. A loss of 1. Godwin trying to sneak through, but it looks like it'll be 4th down and 5, and that might be the end of this one. Godwin going to stay out. We know he serves as the team's punter, but they are in Kickapoo territory. Wouldn't be surprised if they just punt it away here. Yeah, you punt it away here. This Kickapoo offense, even though we mentioned their defense a whole bunch, The offense, very good too. You don't want to give them the ball with good field position.
So Godwin going to drop back, takes a snap, punt is away. It's a good one. Kickapoo not even going to try to guard this one, gets a nice roll, and that's within the 10-yard line. Great punt for Bishop Godwin, and that'll back the Chiefs all the way up to their own 7-yard line. Great punt there for Godwin.
It was a great punt for Godwin, and now both teams have started out with not very good field position. It's going to be a good early test of both of these offenses and defenses to see how far Kickapoo can get down the field.
49 yards on the punt, had about 40 yards or so of air distance, and then got the great roll to the left, right out of bounds. Of course, not a lot of teams going to send return men back against Waynesville in their admittedly odd punting formation, of course, coming out of their usual offensive set. But yeah, got the roll they needed there. So we're going to see here Kylan Mabins. He'll line up as the quarterback. Pistol formation here to start. 2 men to the left. Takes the handoff. Going to give it on over to the running back. Of course, we'll see who's the next man up. Looks like that might have been... trying to get a number down there. How about, looked like that was Jackson Young. That was Jackson Young on the carry. He gets about 3 on Kickapoo's first play of the game. He's going to try it again here. Going to find his way into the secondary. Going to break through. He's going to be all the way to the 27-yard line or so. Slashing through for about 16 yards. And Kickapoo very quickly out deep, out of their own danger zone, I guess I'll say here this time. First down and 10.
Asserting themselves early against a physical Waynesville defense was always going to be the key. They succeeded right there. 2
wide receivers left, another handoff, and again a lot of running room. He's going to find his way up the left sideline. He's got a first down all the way to around midfield before he's pushed out of bounds. And so again, we mentioned it's a deep roster. Samias Pickett, normally the running back, not dressed out here today. Next man up, Jackson Young. Well, he's already got himself over 40 rushing yards.
And that's what happens with those 22, 23 seniors. I mean, you're going to have depth at pretty much every position that's on display right now for the Chiefs, and now it looks like they might be up in a passing formation.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers right. Mabins looking towards the sideline. 1 safety back for the Tigers. 4 men up front, 2 linebackers. 4 defensive backs. Mabins takes a snap, looking to pass for the first time. He's got a man open in the backfield, nobody covering him, and that'll be all the way in to score. Kickapoo. They'll open up the game here. Sam Johnson, 50 yards. Mabins to Johnson to open up the scoring at 6-0 in favor of Kickapoo.
And there's no real way around it. That was a blown coverage by the Tigers. I mean, the defensive backs there looked confused. They looked a little out of place, not sure who to cover right there, and that was just not the way you want to start the first defensive drive of the game. You allow them to the 50, that's going to happen, but you cannot allow 50-yard touchdowns, especially on the opening drive.
Brown on to kick the PAT. Snap is good, kick is away. It's through the uprights, and this will be a 7-0 ball game. So a 50-yard touchdown pass. Kylan Mabins to Sam Johnson, senior to senior. And Kickapoo's got themselves a 7-point lead. 7-0 our score, 6:55 left to go in the first quarter. Back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Welcome back here to Kickapoo High School. 6:55 left to go in the first quarter. Kickapoo, a 50-yard touchdown pass. Kylan Mabins to Sam Johnson. they open up the scoring here today. Connor Harbit, Sam is my last broadcast partner.
Yep.
I am oh so sorry. Connor Harbit, Garrett Bowles here for you. You look like a Sam. Right here on Z102.3. Back to receive, Brandon Howard, Chase Thomas Plummer. And again, Brown on to kick it away. Solid kick, drifting to the right side. Going to be fielded by Howard at about the 6-yard line. Moving to his left, has a little bit of room to run. Past the 20 now, still moving towards that left sideline. He's going to be swept and taken down at about the 20-yard line or so. So trying to find the sideline, did at least get back to the 20, but it'll be an 80-yard field here for Waynesville this time round. So looking to try to even it up here. Last driving into punt, they're going to need to do something a little bit different this time round.
They certainly are. The ball was moving and the offense was just a humming, but whenever you have a run-first defense like this, 2 stops in a row, very difficult to come back from. And even though Waynesville got positive yardage on all of those last drive running plays, they just weren't able to get enough to get a first down, punted it away, and gave it back to a very good, as we saw, Kickapoo offense. Yeah,
30-yard drive, a good start, just kind of stalled out there as it's going to be on the carry. Michael Kelsey Jr. getting himself about 3 yards to start things out here. We know this Waynesville team, not really a team that's going to get huge chunks of yards. Of course, Parkview, of course, it was a different story. Last week against Camdenton, it was more 5, 6, 7 yards at a time when they were able to kind of move here. We do know that does have the benefit of a long, long drive here, and I think that would really kind of help them out here. Obviously, if a score is a score, if you're going to get a 76-yard touchdown run here, that would certainly sit well with you and I, but we know Waynesville, they're very much a little chunks at a time kind of team.
Absolutely.
Single wing back, again, that's Thomas Plummer. He's sent in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Thomas Plummer. Gets into the secondary, going to be tackled around the first down marker, so there you go. There's a nice little 7-yard chunk. And it looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. So move the chains. It's Waynesville, their 3rd first down of the day. It'll be placed at the 33-yard line here of Kickapoo. Under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter.
That's an impressive play, and that's what Chase Thomas Plummer can do for you. He's not going to get the rock very often, but when he does, it's usually going to be a couple of nice yardages. They disguise it whenever he gets the ball very well.
Wing back on the right side this time. Here's another handoff to the wing back. And it looks like the forward momentum is going to be called somewhere. We'll see how many yards they'll give him. Looks like they're going to give him the 36-yard line here. So a gain of 3 on first down means 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, I am not sure if he got that far, but I'm not going to argue with it either. Chase Thomas Plummer powering through, not breaking any tackles, but not getting brought down immediately, keeping those feet moving.
Certainly got met by a few Chiefs there. They pushed him back about 7 or 8 yards. Fortunately, was able to hit the hole, though, and did get 3 here. So 2nd down and 7, another minute off the clock, 5 to go. Here's a handoff up the middle this time. It's Kelsey Jr. going to push and push and push. Nice little push from his offensive line as well to make it 3rd down and short. It's going to be 3rd and 2, gain of 5.
Yeah, and that's what Kelsey can do. He's so good at those inside run games, especially a couple of outside run plays to start the game. You fake it that way with Plummer going on the outside into a motion, and opens up wonders for the inside run game with Kelsey there.
Kelsey Jr., not the biggest guy on the field, 5'9", 165 pounds, but he is powerful, and he will push. He will fight for every yard. 3rd down and 2. It's going to be a direct snap here. Again, going to try to give it off to the quarterback, but again, Kickapoo is ready for it. Hasn't been a good start here for the combination of Godwin and Vernon, at least running the ball, as it's going to set up 4th down and 3. They're going to lose a yard on the play.
And that's exactly what I was noticing as well. They have the Kickapoo Chiefs have really keyed in on stopping the quarterback run game, it seems like. That's something that the Tigers feature quite a bit, so I'm not surprised by the development here and the focus the Chiefs have put on it, but I am surprised by their ability to stop it. This has been very, very impressive so far.
It's actually going to be Vernon on the field. They're going to go for it here, and it is going to be Vernon, but he's going to be stopped. He's going to be stopped about a yard shy, and so a risky play here for Waynesville. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out, and Kickapoo is going to take over in their own territory, 1st down and 10 on the Waynesville 42-yard line. Barkley spinning the dice, rolling the dice here early on, just didn't work out.
It didn't, no, and I think that was kind of trying to be a spark play there for the offense. You get a 4th down conversion, it gets a little bit of life into a team that obviously just went down 7-0. Whenever it doesn't work, though, it can be very detrimental to the start of this game. Ball game not over by any means, but that's certainly not helpful for the momentum and for potentially the score.
Kickapoo offense back out on the field. Maven shotgun formation, but a whistle. Officials timeout. Checking on something near the offensive line. Looks like maybe a helmet strap down there. One of the Kickapoo linemen not strapped up. Maven's going to take the snap. Again, looking to go to the air. He's going to try to throw it down the right sideline. He's got another man open. That ball's caught, and he's in to score. 41 yards this time round. Maven's 2. That was Cale McCarville, his other favorite target. And 2 pass plays have resulted in 2 touchdowns here for Kickapoo. And Waynesville's got to figure something out in that secondary. They've left 2 men wide open.
We've talked about it since the Glendale game. The Waynesville Tigers very good at stopping the pass up the middle with their linebackers, but down the sideline like this, they've just been having so much trouble from Glendale to Camdenton, and now it carries over into Kickapoo. A 13-0 and potentially 14-0 start is not where you want to be with the Waynesville, and I think that might have been an offsides penalty right there on the field goal by Waynesville.
Flag thrown here on the PAT. What's the penalty going to be? It will be offsides against Waynesville, so we'll move it up 1 yard. We'll see if that changes the mind of the Chiefs or if they'll just go ahead and kick it once again. I think they'll most likely just maybe even decline the penalty. It looked like what they did down there. Looks like Coach Nate Thomas actually went ahead and declined the offsides penalty, so they'll go ahead and take the PAT. So the point will stand, and I'll make it 14. No, hold on. Well, both sides started to trot off. Might just have to do it again. The play was whistled dead, so they'll have to do it again. There was no play, so they'll have to line back up, I'm pretty sure. Offsides is a dead ball penalty. Tell you what, I'm pretty sure of it anyway. We'll see. The kick did go through the uprights, but
it did.
It's
it
a dead
was
play.
A great kick, too. I mean, that would have been good from 30, 40 yards. A fantastic kick. He didn't have to put that much leg on it to get it just for a field goal, but he did regardless, or just for a point after, I should say. But he did it anyway. That was, what's that kicker's number down there?
23, that is Price Brown, who is a dedicated kicker-punter. One of the few dedicated, both words work, kicker-punters we've seen this season. So we know he's got quite the leg. It's what he practices. And as you saw right there, he's able to put it through. So we're going to go ahead and try this play again. I do believe, I feel like it's an open shut case. I feel like it's a dead ball. You have to do it again. But now you decline it, you just do it from the 2 yard line again. That's how that works. And so that's what we'll do. We'll be back to it here. We'll go ahead and kick the PAT. Don't feel like we need to reinvent the wheel there, Garrett. So Brown set to kick. Holder, that'll be Chase Ham. Kick is up and away. And once again, it is going to be through the uprights. So 3:33 left to go here in this first quarter. Kickapoo taking themselves a quick lead, a 41-yard touchdown pass. Mavens to McCarville. We'll be back here in 60 seconds. Waynesville trailing 14-0. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Kickoff is away, and it's a good one. That one's going to fall all the way back into the end zone. Looking for the flag out there, actually into the wind as well. So a very impressive kick there for Price Brown, which means that Waynesville will start their next drive here at the 20-yard line. 14-0 our score as we get back to action here. Connor Harbit, Garrett Bowles with you, Z102.3. Last 2 Waynesville drives have both ended in a 4th down. One drive ending a punt. Last drive tried to risk it, Tried to go for it on 4th and 3, only got a couple yards. So we'll see if Waynesville can't find themselves better results on this drive. As the lineup here, single wing back, Chase Thomas Plummer, going to be on the right side here. Full line shift here on 1st down. Vernon, the quarterback, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Past the 20 he goes to about the 22-23 yard line. So a modest pickup here on 1st down. Make it 2nd down, and well, looks like they'll give them 1. How about 2nd down and 9?
Yeah, trying to get that quarterback run game going here. That's a very vital part of their offense. It's not the hill you want to die on, though. I'll be interesting to see how long Coach Kyle Barkley lets this go without picking up positive yardage.
2nd down and 9 to go here, past the 3-minute mark in this first quarter of play. Direct snap here. Kelsey Jr. may have tripped up a bit there as he falls forward. Maybe able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a couple inches more. 3rd down and long.
This is not the drive you need right here if you are the Tigers. I mean, of course, if you're the Kickapoo Chiefs, this is lockdown time. If you can get up 3 scores in the first quarter, that is very, very difficult to come back from. Not the Tigers, the Chiefs right now are very focused. They're going to be very physical on this next play. Tigers got to break one through very, very soon.
Thomas Plummer heading to the sideline here as it's going to be, well, it looks like you're only going to have 10 men on the field. So Waynesville going to have to take themselves a timeout. No wingback in the formation. So Waynesville going to take their first timeout of the half. They'll have 2 remaining here with 2:16 to go in this first quarter of play. So we're going to go ahead and keep it right here for now. Something we didn't talk about before the game today, Garrett. What's going on in the rest of the Ozark Conference, the rest of the district, and the rest of the area as well. So while we've got some time here, we want to go ahead and talk about some of those area games, or at least if my schedule will load for me here. It looks like it's not really wanting to cooperate here at the moment. Hopefully we'll get a chance here. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and talk about what this start has brought. Defensively, Waynesville, they're going to need to find something in the secondary. 2 wide open receivers is, I'm pretty sure that's not how Coach Barkley envisioned this game starting out.
It's certainly not, and judging by the coverage and what I've kind of seen so far, it looks like they're going for a zone scheme on a lot of those things. And with the zone scheme, you need high IQ players in the secondary, and these players for Waynesville, no doubt great. I mean, of course, you're still in Class 5, one of the best schools in the state still, regardless of record, but it's going to be tough to keep that zone coverage up.
So 3rd down and 9 here. Vernon going to go to the air, going to throw it deep downfield into double coverage. Just a bit too far, though, trying to find his man out there. That was Tyreek Brooks, the intended receiver on the play. And that'll set up 4th down and 7. Once again, deep in the territory here, it looks like Waynesville no choice but to punt it away.
Yeah, and it was a good punt last time, but it didn't really matter with the amount of offensive firepower the Kickapoo Chiefs have. I'm thinking maybe a scheme change or some sort of game plan shift is coming for the Tigers real soon. If not now, definitely in the second quarter, and we'll see how that affects the passing game.
Godwin back to punt. Going to kick it away. Another very good punt. This one bounces all the way at the 30. Takes a friendly hop for Waynesville. It looks like this one's going to be returned. Return man going to pick it up here. He's going to have some room to run, but he's going to be tackled about the 26-yard line. A nice open field tackle. Getting over to the ball, that looks like that was Dylan Smith who made the tackle for the Tigers. The return man on the play, that was Sean Campbell, and the Chiefs take over here. Looks like he'll fall forward to the 27-yard line. So the Chiefs, their next drive, their last 2 have ended in touchdown passes. And of course, if you're Coach Thomas, I think the answer's clear. You got to force Waynesville to answer somehow those passes through the air that have left receivers wide open. I wouldn't be surprised here if they go back to the passing game.
I absolutely agree. One of my key points to this game for the Tigers was making an offense one-dimensional. Right now, the Kickapoo Chiefs kind of are one-dimensional, but it's working.
Going under center, it's actually going to be a pitch out here on 1st down. Jackson Young trying to get around end. He's going to get himself a few yards. Gain of about 4 on the play. Gets to about the 32-yard line. 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, and a 4-yard gain on 1st down, that's really what you want. Obviously, a 50-yard touchdown pass, not going to complain about that at all, but a 4-yard gain on 1st down is excellent field position.
Well, you know the old cliche. Back to pistol here, fakes the handoff, going to throw it out, has the out route, catch is made, Gonna try to pitch it back, but that ball's gonna be loose on the ground. Mabins is gonna pick it up here. He's gonna be in trouble. But hold on here, the whistle. Are they gonna say that he never caught that ball? Are they gonna say that it was incomplete? He pitched the ball backwards. No. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. He literally pitched the ball backwards. You gotta say he was in control of that football.
I would call that a very close play at best. I would call that a bailout at worst. So that is going to set the Chiefs up still with good field position after a very poor decision by the receiver.
It'll be ruled an incomplete pass. Here's a handoff to Young. He's going to slash through into the secondary. He's got the first down about the 46-yard line. I just don't see it, Garrett. I don't see how you can pitch the ball backwards and then say you're not in control. I don't see it. But anyway, first down. I got questions. First down and 10. Ball now on the 47-yard line of Kickapoo. Going to the ground game, surprisingly, and finding similar success here as well. Pistol formation, one wide receiver right, one to the left. Wing back as well. Handoff, but nowhere to go this time for Young. So he's going to be immediately wrapped up and dropped. A couple different Tigers there on that tackle. Looks like up in the front. One of the players in on that tackle. That'd be Ian Shepard, who gets there. Looks like may have also had J.J. Rodriguez in on the tackle as well.
Swarming up the middle there. That's what the Tigers are very, very good at. We knew the defensive line was going to be very good coming into the season. They haven't disappointed so far. Of course, the pressure they were able to place on Bear Short last week and now stuffing the run game, at least to the best of their abilities.
Two backs in the backfield, shotgun formation. One man set to the right. Handoff, again, first down. Past the 50 he goes. Into Waynesville territory we are. On the carry that time, that was Paxton Wayner. Listed on the roster as a tight end, but doing some running back duties here. He gets 5. Third down and 5 upcoming here, but that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So, after one, Kickapoo finds themselves with a 2-score lead over Waynesville. It's 14-0 our score. We'll be back here in 60 seconds. We'll have the second quarter for you. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. McCarville past the 40-yard line as we get back to it here as we start the second quarter. Cale McCarville on the catch out in the flat. 14-0 our score. A couple of passing touchdowns for the Kickapoo Chiefs as we get back to it. Connor Harvett here with you alongside Garrett Bowles here on Z102.3. But hold on, we've got a flag on the play. Flag on the far side of the field, and it looks like it's going to be holding called against Kickapoo. So, negate the first down, we're going to back them up.
And that would be huge if Kickapoo was one-dimensional. If Kickapoo was very focused on only running the football, that could potentially be a drive killer. We've seen that throughout the season with many different teams, including Waynesville, but we know that this Kickapoo offense can explode for a touchdown at any moment, and they look to be in a spread-out formation here and do have the ability to put this game maybe in contention very early.
Third down and 10, but we're going to get another whistle, and it looks like we may have a timeout taken here by Kickapoo. So Kickapoo going to take a timeout here this time round. And tell you what, we'll go ahead and we'll see if I can't load up those schedules. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and send it on over to a quick 60-second break. Yep, looks like it's still having some technical difficulties there, so we'll take a 60-second break, come back in just a moment. 11:51 to go here in this second quarter. 14-0 your score. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Kickapoo High School. Bit of a lucky break there for the Waynesville secondary. 3rd down and 10. Kyle Mabins forced to roll out of the pocket. The defensive line breaking on through. Had to try to run with it. Was only able to get 4 yards, but it looks like they are set to go for it here as we get back to it. It's going to be trips to the left. Pistol formation. Mabins at the line. Again, the defensive line forcing their first pressure onto Mabins here today. Had a man open, wide open down the field. That D-line able to pressure him here. Going to go back to the well here. Going to try to pass it, but again, he's forced out of the pocket, sending the blitz, and they're going to get to him. That'll be a turnover on downs, and Waynesville will have themselves great field position at the Kickapoo 41-yard line. Big sack.
By far the best starting field position the offense has seen so far tonight. They have got to capitalize on this one ASAP, and with the momentum shift right there, I wouldn't be surprised if they can do it. That's 2 plays in a row where Mabins felt the pressure of the Tiger defensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 different Tigers getting to the football that time around. So the big turnover on downs, they'll place it at the 42-yard line. So 1st down and 10. We'll see if Waynesville can't find the spark they need here. Wing back to the right, that's Thomas Plummer. He'll get the handoff on 1st down, cuts it up past the 40 to about the 37-yard line or so. Gain of 5 here on 1st down. 2nd down and 5 upcoming.
Keeping the ball moving. I'm going to retire that saying by the end of the year at this point, but it's just so explanatory of what the Waynesville Tiger offense comes to do. I mean, they can be explosive. We saw it against Parkview. Very impressive run plays that game, but that's not their main focus. Their main focus, picking up 1st downs.
2nd down and 5 now. Another handoff, Chase Thomas Plummer. Nice cut up the middle, has the 1st down and then some. Past the 30 he goes, pile forms. We'll see where they mark that ball down. Regardless, it's going to be enough for a 1st down. It looks like they'll give him the 27-yard line. Gain of 10 on the play. Gain of 10, 1st down and 10. Waynesville approaching the red zone for the first time tonight. Wing back to the right, Thomas Plummer. Sent in motion. Gonna fake the handoff this time. It's actually gonna be Kelsey Jr. who carries the ball forward. Using that big line to his advantage. Gets about 4 yards, 2nd down and 6.
And the Waynesville offense moving faster than me dancing to Cotton Eye Joe. I'll tell you what right now.
They like their music here.
This is exciting. I'm a big fan of that, man.
They turn it down, then they turn it back up after every play. Which, you know, you and I in the radio business, we both work in music. I'm not opposed at all, but they do like the party here in Kickapoo for sure. 2nd down and 6 upcoming.
Gonna have to add this song to the playlist.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 6, Thomas Plummer set in motion. Can he keep it himself? That's the quarterback. That's gonna be Godwin, but he has nowhere to go. Again, it's just been not a good time for Godwin or Vernon. They're able to read that option. They're gonna send a man at the quarterback every time. He's gonna lose a few, and it's gonna be 3rd down and 7. Lost at 2 on the previous play.
Yeah, and they've been very good at recognizing whenever the quarterback has the ball and exploding through the offensive line. A very good offensive line for the Tigers, but you can just look at the offensive stats for the Tigers right now and know that Kickapoo was very focused on stopping the QB run this week.
Kickapoo very disciplined on these option plays, know exactly who their target is. So 3rd down here, 3rd down and 7. Handoff, Thomas Plummer. Again, a great cut. Gonna have himself the maybe 1st down. It's gonna be close. It looks like he's gonna get it by about a yard or so. And so after the setback, good gain. How about a 1st down and 10 for the first time tonight? Waynesville officially in the red zone. 1st down and 10 from the 16-yard line.
Chase Thomas Plummer kind of starting to put the team on his back, at least on this drive. We're seeing him make up for broken plays from other players. We're seeing him push through, being agile. He's been very impressive this drive.
Last week against Camdenton, Waynesville had trouble finishing off drives. We'll see if they can't do it here. Thomas Plummer, he's looking to make the impact once again. Gonna cut up to around the 10-yard line this time. That play, that jet sweep back around the other direction, we were so high on that during the Jamboree. It's working in spades here. This has been the best play Waynesville's been able to run all night.
It certainly is, and I get that you can't run the jet sweep every single play, but if I was Barkley, I might want to try it. I mean, my goodness, this has been a fantastic play so far for the Tigers all season long, and not always an explosive play, but usually for positive yardage as it was there.
Gain of 5 from the 11. Quarterback keeper Vernon just simply going to run up the middle. Able to get past the line of scrimmage, but it is going to be 3rd down. They're going to give him the 10-yard line here, so a gain of 1. 3rd down and 4 upcoming here. Obvious 4-down territory. You've got a couple plays here to get 4 yards.
You definitely do. I'm confident enough in the Tigers' offense. I believe they can get that. It's going to be that and goal situation that I'm really worried about. However, going to have to try to knock on wood after I said that, of course, but it's going to be interesting to see the play calling down here in the goal line.
So 3rd down, and it looks to be actually about 3. Scoreboard discrepancy with the chain gang down there, but as I can see, it is 3rd down and 3. Vernon, handoff. Thomas Plummer looking to break it off to the sideline. Now cuts up. He has the 5-yard line, still trying to carry it forward. He's going to be taken down around the 4 or the 3-yard line. Another gain of 5 or 6. 5 or 6 yards at a time. This Waynesville offense just pounds and pounds and pounds, but they're knocking on the door here potentially for their 4th score of the day. Got 4 plays, 4 yards.
And they're keeping the Kickapoo offense that it was on a roll for a while off the field right now. They're starting to get relaxed, starting to be maybe a little more chilled out, maybe not as ready to play as they were at the beginning of this game. That's so important when you have an explosive, dominating offense on the other sideline.
CTP 316 says, I just gained 5 yards.
That was brilliant.
That was brilliant. Here's the snap. Kelsey Jr. moving forward. Gets to the 5, but he's pushed backwards. 1st down. Waynesville's going to lose a yard. And as you mentioned, Garrett, it's the and goal situation that might make you a bit nervous. 1st down here, going to lose a yard. Back to the 5 we go.
And that's a tough start. This goal line is very interesting, but really, Waynesville's offense is goal line oriented, so it's going to be interesting to see if they try to switch it up or if they kind of run the same plays that they would even if they were at the 50 or the 20-yard line.
Thomas Plummer, the wingback, to the right side. Godwin, the quarterback, now going to shift it off to the left. CTP now on the left-hand side. Kelsey Jr. is the halfback. Godwin takes a snap, keeps it himself. Trying to cut up, trying to follow his back to the hole, but he's going to be stopped at about the 4 or 3. Looks to be about 2 yards maybe. Maybe they'll give him 1. They're going to give him 1. 3rd down and goal from the 4.
And that play would have been much worse if it wasn't for the blocking by Kelsey Jr. I saw him run up the hole, block the nearest guy. Unfortunately, the 2nd closest guy on the Kickapoo Chiefs defense also very, very close. That play obviously was made by the quarterback running the ball up the middle, but Kelsey Jr. deserves his flowers on that block.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you noticed that. Kelsey Jr., nice block to at least get a little bit here. But now a whistle before this 3rd down play. Looks like we may have another timeout taken here by Kickapoo. So Kickapoo going to call themselves a timeout. 6:14 left to go. 3rd down and goal for Waynesville, trying to put themselves on the board. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again, 3rd down and goal from the 3. Waynesville knocking on the door, just need to punch it through. Thomas Plummer, the wingback, left-hand side. Going to be a direct snap. Kelsey Jr. cuts through, dives forward. Is he in? Where are they going to spot it? They're going to say it was at the 1-yard line. They're going to say the knee touched right before he was able to reach across. And so it will be 4th down and goal from the 1. Oh, so close, Kelsey Jr.
I was rooting for Kelsey Jr. after delivering a great block on the previous play that we were talking about. Told you last last play that he deserved his flowers. On this play, he almost got those flowers after slowly moving them. Doing the little things is Waynesville right now, but it might not matter if they can't get it right here. Fourth
Huge
and goal.
play. 4th down and goal from the 1. Waynesville trailing this one 14-0. Snap. Kelsey Jr. trying to move forward, and it looks like he's going to be stopped. We've talked about it so much. Waynesville has so much trouble finishing drives, and they're going to turn it over on downs. 4th down and goal from the 1.
That is going to be a big blow to the confidence and to the momentum that the Tigers were experiencing. They had their dream drive. It was long, it was steady, a couple very impressive, explosive plays. It was all looking like it was going to lead up to a Tiger touchdown. I was already hearing you telling me that the Tiger was going to be roaring, but on that play, Kickapoo won outright, was able to tackle the ball carrier very, very quickly.
So a timeout on the field. Haven't attributed it to either team yet, but we do know it is going to be Kickapoo ball. They're going to take over on their own 1-yard line. So, opportunity here for the defense if you're able to burst through, but it is going to be the full length of the field here. Kickapoo, 5:23 on the clock, and just one timeout here. Kickapoo has already burned themselves a couple timeouts. Waynesville, they've used one timeout here themselves. So back out onto the field. Score remains 14-0 in favor of Kickapoo. Of course, both touchdowns coming back in the first quarter. A couple of long pass plays. 50 yards, Mabins to Johnson. 41 yards, Mabins to McCarville. But now lining up again, like I said, at their own 1-yard line. Going to come to the line, shotgun formation.
Looks like they're just going to try to punch it through, get some offensive room to operate.
Direct snap here to Young. He's going to have himself a few yards, 6 or 7 on the play. As he dives forward, they'll find themselves off the goal line now. Getting just one timeout for Kickapoo, but as we've seen, they are capable of the big play. Waynesville's going to have to keep these Chiefs in front of them. So we roll down that second quarter. Lights in full effect here at the Kickapoo High School Stadium. Great view of Springfield. So Young takes the handoff here on second down. Now going to cut. Has a few linemen in front of him. Has the first down and then some. To about the 15-yard line he goes.
Very impressive, I should say, play right there. Showcasing a good balance of power and agility right there. Cut it down to the outside. Looked like it might have been an option play at first. The quarterback, Kylan Mabins, elects to hand it off, and positive yardage, a good decision there by the junior quarterback.
Both teams making some substitutions here prior to the snap. First down and 10. 4:30 left to go now in this first half. Pistol formation. Mabins takes the snap. It's another handoff. Young going to bounce it out to the left. Has to try to go all the way out to the sideline here. Stiff arms one defender. Gets to about the 22-yard line. Gain of 7.
And it was a good tackle right there by Brandon Palezzo, kind of diving at his legs right there, completing the tackle by his teammate. Good team effort there, way to swarm the ball for the Tigers.
So a gain of 7 means second down and 3. Now just over 4 minutes left to go in this first half. Back to the pistol, 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. 15 on the play clock here as Mabins makes some pre-snap adjustments, now looking off towards the sideline. Now 10 on the play clock. Now approaches, takes the snap. Handoff, Young, nowhere to go, wrapped up and taken down. Looks to me maybe a short gain, if anything. It's going to be around the line of scrimmage.
Very impressed by the Tigers right there. When you get torched the way that they have been torched in this game, that spread look offense can kind of be worrisome at times. You start expecting a pass, they can run it up the middle and get big yardage, especially with a team that has great balance like the Chiefs. Tigers able to stay disciplined, cover all the bases right there, and ends up with a good play.
So third down, and they did give him a yard. Third down and 2. Quick snap here, handoff into the second line, past the 35. That's well enough for a first down. Looks like that's another different running back here into the game for Kickapoo. Got the jersey bunched up here, but it looks like that might be. Looks like that may or may not be down there. Brian Wamshire, there we go. That's number 13 down there. Has the jersey bunched up Ezekiel Elliott style. Can't read those numbers down there, but it is going to be Wamshire. He does have himself the first down and 10 Ball on the Kickapoo 37-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go now in the first half. Another handoff to Wamshire. Has some room around the end. To about the 43 he goes now. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, you look good, you feel good, you play good. Second half of that quote is, you play good, they pay good. Not going to be able to do that in high school football, but
we're amateurs here.
But still a very good run nonetheless there by Washmer. Haven't heard a lot about him so far in my research, but he's proven me looking kind of silly here tonight, as I maybe should have wrote him down a little bit more.
Yeah, Wamshire splitting time here with Young. He's still in. Shotgun formation, one back in the backfield. Thought about sending a man in motion. Instead, just going to hand it off to Wamshire. Able to shake off one would-be Tiger tackler. Now the ball fumbled. Ball on the ground. Judging by the Waynesville reaction, it looks like it was Wamshire who was eventually able to fall on his own fumble. But it will be a gain of a few inches. 3rd down upcoming, 3rd down and 4. 1:44 left to go here in this first half. That clock's ticking. Kickapoo does still have one timeout. Do keep that in mind. Back to the line come the Chiefs. Now down to 90 seconds. 2 wide receivers right, 2 to the left. Haven't seen Kickapoo go to the air yet this drive. Now they're going to try to do so. Looking up the left side, going to try to use the speed of the man McCarville. He's got that ball all the way at the 22-yard line. One-on-one coverage up the left sideline. And it looks like the man on coverage, Michael Baker, may have tripped up a little bit. Was with him step for step for a little bit. Tripped up and gave McCarville enough space he needed. And now Waynesville, well, they find themselves backed up to within their own red zone. 1st down and 10, 21-yard line. Kickapoo again, still with that one timeout to burn. Havens takes the snap, moving off to the right. Looks to be a run-pass option. Going to pass it towards the corner of the end zone, but it's just a bit too far. Trying to find Thomas, it falls incomplete. We'll go 2nd down and 10.
And that was just a simple case of Mabins not quite being able to connect with an open receiver. To the naked eye, that's a bad play by Mabins, but if you really look, the Tigers putting great pressure on Mabins to try to make that pass there. I was impressed with the Tiger offense, or defense, I should say, right there. Making it difficult. You can't always have perfect coverage every single time, but you can try to force a bad pass. That's what happened there.
Yeah, that'll be Mabins' hot take. 1st incomplete pass of the day. On the stat sheet, it'll show 2nd incomplete pass of the day. I'm not over it. It'll be hold on, 1st down and 15. Actually, and I thought this was actually going to happen. I thought they ignored it. I think there was a false start on the previous play, Garrett. It definitely looked like one of the wide receivers jumped, but we'll have a timeout taken here by Kickapoo. Yeah, one of the wide receivers jumped, so that was actually all just a dead play.
Which means that was not his first incompletion of the ball game.
He still only has the one incompletion. So the last timeout going to be taken here, timeout taken by Waynesville, actually. So, nope, 2nd timeout taken by the Tigers. I'm all out of sorts here at the moment. But we'll go ahead and keep it locked in right here. 1:05. Waynesville trying to make a big stop here. Again, Kickapoo still holding on to their timeout. They do have a kicker, and we are in definite field goal range. So, trying to maybe limit the Chiefs here to no points or 3 points at the max. Definitely not trying to give up a touchdown here as we head into the locker rooms.
Absolutely. Down 2 possessions is tough. Down 3 possessions, very, very difficult to come back from, as we've said it a million times, especially when you have a run-first offense like the Tigers. We know their offense can be explosive, and I'd be interested to see how soon Barkley kind of turns to that passing offense that we've seen a couple of times, and a couple of times worked fairly well.
3 wide receivers right now, going to send a man in motion to the left. That's McCarville, so now 2 wide receivers each side. Mabins looking to pass. Wide receiver on the seam route. McCarville open in the end zone. Is he going to haul it in? Is he inbounds? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Kickapoo. The seam route got the Waynesville secondary crisscrossed, and that bought him all the room he needed to get his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. 3rd touchdown pass for Kylan Mabins, and Kickapoo takes themselves a 20-0 lead.
I've been impressed so far tonight with McCarville's hands. I mean, every single play, it seems that he kind of has to shift his body into a somewhat awkward position, but the hands find the football, and after that, for a wide receiver of McCarville's stature and skill level, it's pretty much over. very difficult to get the ball free from McCarville, as it showed right there. Another touchdown for the Kickapoo Chiefs.
Took us 11 minutes here in the second quarter to get any kind of score, but Kickapoo marching right on down the field. It's a 99-yard touchdown drive. As the kick is up, Brown puts it through the uprights to make it a 21-point game. So 21-0 in favor of Kickapoo. 59 seconds left to go in the half. Take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again, Kickapoo High School, 59 seconds to the half. 21-0 in favor of Kickapoo. Latest touchdown, a 26-yard touchdown pass, Kylan Mabins, to what has been his favorite target tonight, Kale McCarville. Kickoff sent away. It's in the back of the end zone and through. That'll be another touchback, and Waynesville will start here at the 20-yard line. So, 59 seconds, Waynesville with one timeout. We'll see what they do with it here. Kickapoo does have a timeout themselves, so curious to see if either side elects to use that timeout, or if Waynesville will just kind of put the ball on the ground and try to head on in to those locker rooms. Again, Connor Harbit here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles, Z102.3. It's the culmination of a long week of athletics. Waynesville softball, of course, on the air a couple times this week. Frisco League softball as well. If you've listened into Z102.3 here this week, we thank you. Always appreciate the listenership around here. One wing back to the left, direct snap, Kelsey Jr. on first down. Hits the hole, gets to about the 25-yard line before he's stopped. Gain of, well, they'll give him 6. Looks like he was able to reach forward for an extra yard. Second down and 4, but neither side using those timeouts past the 40-second mark now.
Yeah, it looks to be just a sense of wanting to get into the locker rooms for halftime, kind of refocus, re-game plan.
Another direct snap here to Kelsey Jr. as he'll get himself another 4 yards. Going to be close to the first down marker, if not a first down here. And that it will be. So first down here, Waynesville. Chain gang still kind of holding back here. They got to move them. There you go. First down and 10. Waynesville not waiting for the chain gang. They're going to hand it off. Thomas Plummer trying to juke back to his right. Across the 35 he goes to the 37. Past the 20-second mark now. And like you said, Garrett, both sides handshaking this. Not going to use their final timeouts. Just going to head into the locker room with this 21-0 score. Should be the last play of the half. See if Waynesville elects to snap here. Don't have to, but they're going to do it anyway. Why not? Going to be a quarterback keeper. Vernon past the 40. Hit and taken down at the 42-yard line. So a gain of 10 ends the half here for Vernon. But Waynesville finds themselves down 3 scores as we head into the locker rooms. It's going to be Kickapoo 21 and Waynesville nothing. So what we're going to do here, we're going to throw some time up on the clock. First, we're going to take a 4-minute timeout. We're going to go ahead and get our affairs in order. We've got your scoring summary. We've got your stats coming up as well. We'll be back here, like I said, in about 4 minutes. Again, your score, Kickapoo 21, Waynesville nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again at Kickapoo High School, the Kickapoo Marching Band marching on to the field, but of course we are at halftime. Your score, Kickapoo 21, Waynesville nothing. Waynesville having an opportunity to score near the end of the first half, but unfortunately stopped 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. It's one of those plays, and it's really kind of been the story of the last couple of weeks. Waynesville able to drive the football, but ultimately just coming up just a bit too short to putting up points here on the board. But it is still 3 scores, and we'll still have 2 full quarters to play. Of course, Connor Harbitt, Garrett Bowles here with you, Z102.3. Garrett working ever so diligently on those stats. He'll rejoin me here in just a few moments. But hey, wanted to go ahead and talk over some scores and games from around the region. Of course, we were trying to do that throughout the first half. The website I normally use was actually down for the first half, but it is up and ready to go, so I can actually cover what is going on in the rest of the Ozark Conference. We'll go ahead and start with a game that's being played tomorrow, by the way. So a game to watch out for tomorrow. Number 5, Lebanon. Lebanon, the Yellow Jackets ranked number 5 in Class 5. They are taking on Bolivar tomorrow, so look forward to that Yellow Jackets Liberators game tomorrow. West Plains, they're taking on Rolla here today. West Plains ranked number 9 in Class 4. They lead Rolla 21-7 in the second quarter. And then, of course, also from around the rest of the conference, you have Glendale taking on Hillcrest. They lead 32-0 in the first quarter. So Glendale all over Hillcrest here today. Camdenton all over Parkview 28-0. And of course, we'll see here, we'll look for that Branson score for you. District opponent Branson, they are trailing Nixa 28-10 in the second quarter. So those are your scores from around the area, scores that may be relevant to our interests here at the moment. I actually do have the district standings, by the way, as you do kind of look forward to those. And of course, they matter come district tournament time. Waynesville 6th out of 7 here in the moment in the district. Remember, that district includes 6 of the Ozark Conference teams plus Branson. Waynesville above Branson at the moment, the 2 seed, that would be Lebanon. So we're going to wait and see kind of how that develops here today, but Waynesville is 6th in their Class 5 district. So we're going to go ahead and send it on to another break here. Of course, Garrett still working on those stats. I'll have your scoring summary as well when we come back. We're taking a 4-minute timeout once again. We'll be back here in 4 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Kickapoo High School. Still at halftime, the marching band actually honoring their seniors here today. You love to see it. As always, I've mentioned each and every week, I think, was a marching band kid myself, so I always kind of mark out for watching these shows. So always a good time for me here. But, of course, we've got a ball game going on. We've got a 21-0 score. Kickapoo leading Waynesville here at the moment. As we take a look at your scoring summary, of course, Garrett's got some rushing stats for you here in just a few moments for the Waynesville side. But, of course, this game got started. Waynesville coming up short on their first drive, having to punt it away. Kickapoo answered very, very quickly. 6:55 left to go in the first quarter. 50 yards down the right sideline. That was Kylan Mabins able to find Sam Johnson, the senior wide receiver, for the game's first score. Successful PAT made it 7-0. 3 minutes later, we saw our second touchdown of the day. Also through the air for the Kickapoo Chiefs. This time it was Mabins to Cale McCarville. McCarville has proven himself to be Mabins' favorite target here tonight, as late in the second quarter, just a minute remaining, it was 26 yards. Mabins to McCarville once again after the PAT. That had made it 21-0. So that is where we stand here at the moment. Of course, Waynesville, they've had some opportunities. A major opportunity near the end of that second quarter potentially could have cut it down to a one-score ball game. Just stopped right at the 1-yard line. And, of course, marching 99 yards down the field was Kickapoo just before the end of that first half. So 3 scores, but 2 quarters left to play. Waynesville going to try to make the necessary adjustments coming out of the locker room, going to try to turn this game back around. But, Garrett, we've got some rushing stats for you, and we've got a couple players right now kind of lighting it up here for the Tigers. They're hitting the ground pretty well.
They are hitting the ground very well. Absolutely, Connor. Kelsey Jr. so far in the game has by far had more carries than any other ball carrier on the team for a total of 51 yards. He's definitely off to a great start in this game so far throughout 2 quarters. Chase Thomas Plummer, not as many carries as Kelsey, almost as many yards though, 46 yards, which gives him a total average of 6.5 yards per carry. A very impressive game so far by CTP. And the 2 quarterbacks, I decided to combine them for the rushing totals, have 17 yards so far. Not what you'd expect out of a Waynesville team that definitely loves to run with their quarterback, usually, of course, a traditional passing position, but it's been nothing going for the run for the quarterback so far. Also got some Kickapoo stats for you so far. 1 reception so far for number 1, Sam Johnson. It was, of course, for 50 yards. It was a touchdown. I'm sure he'll take that and be very happy tonight. But doubling his teammates' touchdown total so far has, of course, been the senior Cale McCarville. A fantastic game so far. You look at the stats, they tell half the story. Impressive there. You look at what he's been able to do to this Tiger defense, it becomes twice as impressive. He's been great tonight for a total of 108 yards through the air so far, which of course gives the quarterback there, Kylan Mabins, a total of 158 yards through the air, plus Kickapoo Chiefs 79 yards on the ground. It's been a great game so far for the Chiefs. It's going to be interesting to see how the Waynesville Tigers defense attacks the Kickapoo Chief offense here in the second half of the ball game. Got to get something going here if you're the Tigers ASAP. You cannot let Mabins and McCarville and the rest of this offense continue to throw and run all over you.
Yeah, 220-plus yards of total offense here for Kickapoo. And the big question, the secondary. What are you going to do to really rectify the mistakes of the first half? You got beat deep a couple of times. Those first 2 passes, that third pass, it was a little bit closer, but McCarville, we know he's got great hands, and he's got great initial speed as well, able to just get on by, and then Mabin's able to toss it right over that shoulder. McCarville just very, very good at putting those hands on the football. So what are you going to do to kind of adjust? We saw there the defensive line was starting to make a few strides here and there, starting to force Mabins to roll out of that pocket. What are they going to do to continue to try to force Mabins? Again, remember, the play just before the end of that first half, just before the touchdown throw, had a man wide open in the end zone. He wasn't able to hit that target because he was too busy escaping the defensive line of Waynesville. So if you can continue to add pressure, it makes it harder for these Chiefs to do what they have been doing. It sounds kind of obvious, but it very much is important to continue to force Mabin out of his comfort zone.
Easier said than done, of course. If I was a high school coach, I would just try to score a touchdown every play. I mean,
absolutely,
shoot.
Yeah.
But no,
you've solved it.
This has been very impressive for the Tigers so far. We saw this last week against the great quarterback Bear Shore of the Camdenton Lakers. In the second half, they were sort of able to get more and more pressure on Shore as the game went on. It's going to be great to see if they can do that against Mabins here as well. In fact, last week we were talking about the pressure they were able to put on the quarterback, not able to get home, and then shortly after, defense able to get home. We'll see if they can do that tonight against Kickapoo. We've seen them starting to come along, the defensive line of the Tigers. Now it's all about finishing the plays and finishing the drive as well on the offense.
Yeah, and I don't want to draw too many comparisons to last week, but it does kind of seem like Waynesville is a team that requires time to kind of warm up, kind of feel out the opposing offense. Unfortunately, that often does include the opposing team scoring a few touchdowns here and there. Again, a couple of touchdowns in the game's first 8 minutes, but then it took Kickapoo almost, well, the entire length of the second quarter to find themselves some pay dirt. And only after about a 5-minute meandering drive that saw Waynesville actually do find a couple of negative plays, a couple of opportunities there in that drive. So we'll see if they continue to make the necessary adjustments, see if they continue to improve, because making a comeback in this one is going to start with not allowing more points. You can't afford this game to get into the 4-score, 5-score, 6-score territory, because then I don't think you have enough time left on that clock. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. Hold that thought. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves another break here. We're going to come back just before the start of the second half. We'll have about 3 minutes to go when we do come back. Back in 4 minutes here. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again back here at Kickapoo High School. 3 minutes left to go here in this halftime period. Both teams out of the locker rooms. Both teams warming up, getting the bodies back up and going for our second half of action. Kickapoo leading Waynesville 21-0. It's Connor Harbin here with you today. Z102.33 passing touchdowns today for the Chiefs of Kickapoo. And Waynesville with some questions to answer on defense. How do you stop Mabins? And how do you keep the receivers in front of you? Have been beat deep here tonight. Fortunately, when the passes have been in front of Waynesville, and this is something we didn't really talk about in the previous break, Garrett, when they're throwing in front of Waynesville, they're able to contain it just fine. It's just getting beat deep that seems to be the problem tonight.
Yeah, and usually, in fact, it is the opposite. This Waynesville Tiger defense may be a little too aggressive, trying to maybe get in good position to make an interception or make a good ball, or a good play, I should say, on the receiver. Not necessarily putting themselves in the best position. I don't think Waynesville is getting out athleticized, for a better word. They're not being out physical. They are just, those two words don't exist, but they're just not putting themselves in the best chance to win with kind of how the play gets set up around the field. They can turn around and they can make plays on these balls, and they're putting great press coverage on the receivers, great pressure we're starting to see on the quarterback, Kylan Mabins. It's just a matter of putting yourself in the best opportunity that you can to make a play every single down, and so far, Tigers showing a little bit of cracks in that defense.
So about 1 minute left to go here before we get back to action again. Just a reminder of what we've got for you next week. This is the first of 2 road games in a row for our Waynesville Tigers. Next week on the road, another tough opponent will head, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Of course, just 30 minutes down the road, we'll be live from Lebanon. Same time as always, pregame going to start at 6:30, and we'll have kickoff for you at 7. Hopefully. That won't be the only Waynesville sports that we have for you next week, but that is where we'll be next week. Of course, make sure to pay attention for some Waynesville Lady Tiger softball as well. Do believe I'm actually hitting the road on Tuesday to Lebanon as well. Looks like I've got a lot of trips to Lebanon in my near future, but we'll have Lady Tiger softball for you from Lebanon on Tuesday, and then Thursday we'll be back home to take on the Kickapoo Chiefs. So look forward to that. Always love going out there. Very nice field, the Waynesville Lady Tiger softball team. And, of course, they've got some serious talent out there as well. If you haven't listened to a broadcast, 7-7 on the year, and they're capable of pitching some pretty good games. Emma Ray, 17 strikeouts. Took the loss, unfortunately, but it was still a very, very, very impressive pitching performance there. So be on the lookout for that, but it looks like we're set to get going here. Remember, Kickapoo, they won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they will receive the ball to begin the second half, and Waynesville will be set to kick it away. 2 men back to receive here for Kickapoo. It looks like it is going to be Matt Jones back to receive, as well as Sean Campbell. He'll be back there as well. Brian Castro will be on to kick here for Waynesville. Excuse me. It will not be Brian Castro. It'll be Mason Wright set to kick it away here for Waynesville. Wright, who of course has been playing here in this game, kind of glossed over it a little bit there. But yeah, it will be Mason Wright set to kick it away. Of course, had that injury back in the first week of the season.
Missed him for the last 2 weeks. He is back, and he is ready to get this second half rolling. Very impressed as well by the number 14 Sean Campbell returnsman's shoes, pink and green.
Yeah, he will be the one to return to here as he takes off towards the left-hand side. Gonna have a huge gap up the left sideline, and it looks like he may have himself some room. Right, the last man back, he's to the 30, cuts back to the right, now to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's gonna take this one all the way back to score.
Don't underestimate the man in the pink and green shoes, apparently. Taking that one back for about 90, 95 yards. Impressive blocking by the Kickapoo Chiefs. He had it on the right side of the field, cut it all the way back to the left side of the field, and still ended up on the right side of the field and in for the score. That was very impressive there by number 14 Sean Campbell and the rest of this special teams on the Kickapoo Chiefs.
Campbell, 6'1", a junior. That was a 90-yard kick return for a touchdown. And so that'll make it 27-0 pending the PAT. A little bit of a delay here before we get to this PAT. Our officials talking things over. I scanned the field. I see no flags. I'm not quite sure what we may be talking about here. Hold on. And it looks like it may be a potentially a sideline warning here against Kickapoo. Definitely not something that's going to take away the touchdown, though, as they are still going to line up for that PAT. So 27-0 here. And again, Garrett, I hate to flash back to what we talked about just a couple of minutes ago. You didn't want to get into 4-score territory. You didn't want to get into 5-score, 6-score territory. 15 seconds in, you're down 4 scores. You are going to get the ball back. And we do know the offense has been able to drive, but they're going to find themselves down in a deep deficit here because of the blown kick coverage.
They certainly are. This is one of the toughest things to come back from as a team. Whenever you are down going into the second half of a football game, you always want to get that first score or at least that first defensive stop. Waynesville just got punched right in the mouth right there. Going to be very, very difficult to get back on their feet.
Bryce Brown kicks it through the uprights, and so, with 11:45 left to go in the third quarter, Kickapoo makes it a 28-0 ball game. We'll take 60 seconds. We'll come right back. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again at Kickapoo High School. 11:45 left to go here in this third quarter. 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Sean Campbell for Kickapoo. They've made this a 4-score game, so now Waynesville back to receive. Chase Thomas Plummer, as well as Brandon Howard, back to receive the kick once again. Have not been able to receive the last 2 kicks. As we know, Bryce Brown for the Chiefs, very good kicker, now kicking into the wind. So we'll see what he's able to generate here. Kick up isn't away. It's going to be a shorter kick, though. Didn't get all of it. Going to be fielded about the 15-yard line. It's Howard on the return, moving back towards the middle of the field. He jukes out a few defenders. He might have some room. He's going to find his way to the 48-yard line. So not quite the same result, but it is still a great return for Brandon Howard. 33 yards, giving Waynesville good field position to start their first drive of the half.
And we asked right before the break, what are you going to do, Waynesville, right after you get punched in the mouth starting off the second half? We saw right there, at least on one play, not ready to give it up yet. And if there's one thing I can point out about the Tiger team so far this year, it's the fact that they will play as hard as they can until all zeros show in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, gotta keep playing hard. Wingback left side, that's Chase Thomas Plummer. Direct snap, Michael Kelsey Jr. on first down. Remember, he received the bulk of the carries in the first half. Gonna punch forward here for about 3, second down and 7.
Right back to work is Kelsey. That's just what he does, running right up the middle. Gets a gain of 3, sets him up for a, not a fantastic second down, but a reasonable second and down.
Second down and 7, but now pushing into Kickapoo territory. Snap over to Vernon, gonna keep it himself. Trying to follow Kelsey Jr. through the gap here. Push backwards, but not before he does gain a couple. They'll give him forward momentum to about the Kickapoo 46-yard line. It'll be second down and 4 after another gain of 3.
And believe it or not, that might be one of the better quarterback runs we've seen in this game. Positive yardage seems to be hard to find when you're a quarterback for the Tigers running against these Kickapoo Chiefs, and a lot of that probably goes back to number 40 on the Chiefs, defensive end Andrew Link, who we talked at length about. Very good pass and rush stopper.
Yeah, haven't mentioned him too much there on that defensive line, but he has certainly been involved today. Here's a handoff, jet sweep, Chase Thomas Plummer, he's into the secondary, and he's going to find himself the first down and a few extra yards as well. Gets to about the 36-yard line. Make it a gain of 10? Nope, make it a gain of 9. Garrett, don't write that down. Gain of 9. First down and 10, though, regardless.
Had a 10 road down, turned that 1 into a 9, and that's kind of what Waynesville's doing right now, making the best of a bad situation, down 4 scores.
Yeah, we talked about Chase Thomas Plummer. He's got such an excellent rushing average tonight, 6.5 yards per carry in the first half. He's got 9 there. Quarterback keeper, going to be Kelsey Jr. Makes the handoff to the quarterback, Vernon. He's able to shake a few Chiefs in the backfield before getting to about the 31-yard line. Tell you what, that was a hard-fought 6-yard gain.
It was. You took the words right out of my mouth. Juking and jiving up for just a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. I was thinking that play was over for a tackle for loss, or maybe just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Kelsey keeping the play alive and keeping those feet moving for a big positive gain.
2nd down and 4 upcoming. It was a gain of 6 on the previous play. 31-yard line. Thomas Plummer, wingback, right side. Waynesville, of course, as always, going to pack it in. Now going to shift to the opposite side, but a flag's going to be thrown. Waynesville clapping up on the line, pointing fingers. And it's going to be offsides here against Kickapoo. Kickapoo a little bit over-eager with the shift, and that's going to give Waynesville the first down. Gain of 5. Only needed 4. Move that ball up to the 26-yard line. It's a full line shift. It's very, very tricky to hold up on that, maybe if you're a defensive lineman. You want to get going, you want to clang some helmets, but
It has to be, because whenever you see the offensive lineman move, your first instinct is to explode towards the ball carrier.
Direct snap, Michael Kelsey Jr. Trying to bounce it out to the left here, but just nothing doing this time. Might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. That's where we'll say the forward momentum stopped. 2nd down and 10 from the 26.
A little bit of a measure of revenge right there for the Kickapoo defensive line. You fool us once, we're going to make you regret it right there. An angry rush right there for the front 6 or 7, it looks like right now, for the Kickapoo Chiefs. They're really starting to stack the box now as they maybe starting to realize that the Tiger offense is not going to pass the ball unless they have to.
Yeah, Waynesville will pass the ball about 3 or 4 times a game before it really starts to get into those passing situations. Then we'll see them shift formations. For now, though, it's only gone to the air just the one time. Thomas Plummer sent in motion. It's going to be a handoff here, but he's taken well back in the backfield. That play did not stand a chance. Kickapoo sending the blitz. And the man got to Chase Thomas Plummer for a big loss of about, that'll hurt the average. It's going to be a loss of about 6. 3rd down and 16.
Definitely not something you want to see. The jet sweep, that's the risk of the jet sweep. You're getting the ball so far away from the original point of reception that you're really not able to turn up field as quick as a usual play, and that can open up the door for the defense to come in through the line and tackle you for a big loss, just like CTP saw there.
So 3rd down and 16, pistol formation, 3 wide receivers right. Vernon going to chuck one down the right sideline, going to be a jump ball, and it's going to fall incomplete. 4th down and 16 upcoming here. But Waynesville potentially in 4-down territory. Again, it's going to be 4th down and very, very long with that football. It's on the 32-yard line here at the moment. Perhaps you just go for it here. Perhaps you just roll the dice again and see what you can come up with. Of course, haven't seen too many 16-yard plays yet for Waynesville. In fact, I don't think their longest play has gone longer than maybe 10, 11, and 12 yards tonight.
From my own personal memory, I think you are correct there, but
they're going to go for it. They're going to line up pistol formation, 4 wide receivers set. It's going to be Godwin who throws it, right sideline. That ball's going to be picked off. There's going to be a lot of room up that left sideline, past the 40 to the 45, the 50, 50, 40, 35, 30. He's all the way to the 25, juking out some defenders now, and eventually he's taken down all the way at the Waynesville 20-yard line.
It was number 2, Matt Jones. He's a senior. He's only 5'9", but he looked larger than life itself on that interception. Just able to read the quarterback's eyes beautifully. QB underthrew it just enough for him to kind of sneak in there, grab the interception, and it was a big return there going all the way to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that ball well underthrown. Really only one man who had an opportunity to catch that football. And he did it. He bobbled it a little bit. He almost lived up to the stereotype, but he makes the catch and then the huge return to follow it up. And so Kickapoo knocking on the door here just outside the red zone to start their latest drive. Mabins with the football, throwing it to the right-hand side. Jump ball here. That one's picked off. That ball's going to be picked off in the end zone. And Waynesville will pick it off right on back. Although, we'll have to see where they say he picked that one off. Was he in the end zone? I do believe he was. And so, how about pick for pick? As getting out there, it's a little bit down far of the field, and I hate to not have a number on that one, but it was a great play to follow that corner route to the corner of the end zone and then pick it off.
It certainly was, and we've talked about the hands of Kale McCarville and really the rest of these wide receivers for the Kickapoo Chiefs. Very impressive. They're able to go up and get the ball almost at will. However, not that time. Once again, 2 times in a row now, it's just a case of a quarterback underthrowing it just a little bit, and that's the dangers of an underthrown pass. Usually, whenever you have a high-level secondary you're going up against, ends up being intercepted.
Yeah, we talked about it. Mavens, he's been so accurate here today. He's been able to put it where only his receiver can conceivably get it. That was the first ball, I would say, that was truly not in the spot it needed to be. And so Waynesville's going to make him pay, and so they are going to lose a lot of yards. They're not going to be in Kickapoo territory anymore, but they are able to get the ball back, and because of the touchback, they'll start their next drive here at the 20-yard line. Do have a brief break here on the field. Both teams back on the respective sidelines, a water break, if you will. Our officials meeting a meeting of the minds at about the 20-yard line themselves as our non-stop dance party continues. And you know, I was really thinking about this. Do we have to worry about copyright? Because I know this is going over the air. I don't think we have to worry about copyright.
I
right?
don't think
It's
so.
this is a cover. We're talking over it. We're just using the beats, you know, like we're sampling. We're sampling. It's a sample.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault. So Waynesville going to take over, first down and 10, ball on the 20-yard line. They do like their music out here. Can't say I hate it. Love it, in fact.
I've caught myself dancing 2 or 3 times already tonight.
Yeah, you're very high energy tonight. Usually you're sitting down. You're standing up with me tonight. Sending a man in motion. That's Tyreek Brooks going to the air here on first down. Vernon going to throw it up the right sideline. Has a man available. That ball's going to be caught. Maybe pass interference as well, and I think that's going to be the call. Ball was actually dropped, by the way, but there was pass interference, and that's going to be called against Kickapoo. Grab the arm.
He did grab the arm there, and I think these Kickapoo defensive backs haven't had a whole lot of work covering passes tonight, maybe out of their fundamentals just a little bit. We know it's a very good, very well, I should say, coached team, but whenever you surprise them with a pass like that this late in the ball game, sometimes you can force those penalties. They did right there.
Yeah, the intended receiver on the play was Josh Bess. Had to try to come back to it a little bit. The defender, that was Kickapoo's Jackson Young, grabbing the arm there. Kind of kept Bess from getting back to the football. Still had a chance to catch it. Bess almost hauled that one in. But it is going to be a chunk of yards here, 15 yards to be precise. First down and 10, all on the 35-yard line of Waynesville. Shifting the line, Chase Thomas Plummer, that's Brooks, the wing back on the left side, but it's a direct snap to Kelsey Jr. Punching forward to about the 37-yard line. Second down and 8.
The Waynesville Tigers staying alive right now.
Yeah, that pick definitely helping themselves stay in the game. So I know that was just another try to joke, but there really is an applicable. It's applicable here. You get the pick, you then get the 15-yard penalty, and then you get a gain of 4. Wow, nice stretch there from Kelsey Jr. Maybe thought he had about 2, but it is going to be second down and 6. Godwin, the quarterback, gets the snap, keeping it himself. Trying to bounce it out to the left, has a lot of room. Going to be taken down maybe around the first down marker, maybe a yard shy. But it's a gain of about 5. We'll give them 5, third down and 1.
And the Tigers very hesitant usually to go to the air. It's about time to do so, though. You're down 4 scores in the second half of the third quarter. It's going to be interesting to see how long Barkley can hold off. Probably not going to be on this play, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does switch over on this drive.
Thomas Plummer back in at wingback. He'll get the handoff here on third down and 1. He's got the yard he needs. It'll ultimately give you a gain of about 3. Past the 45-yard line to the 47. Will be a new set of downs, though. First down and 10. First down and 10 upcoming. Waynesville making adjustments, making substitutions. Now we'll come to the football. 5:35 left to go in the third quarter, and 28-0 your score. Waynesville trying to find the end zone for the first time. Direct snap, Kelsey Jr. bouncing it out to the right. Now cutting up forward, dives forward to about the Kickapoo 47-yard line. We go from 47 to 47. It's a gain of 6.
And something I've noticed about Kelsey so far, he gains about 4 or 5 yards running almost horizontally, it seems like. I mean, he is like quite literally supermaning his way into a couple of extra yards almost every single time he gets an opportunity.
Yeah, he loves gaining those extra yards. Definitely a hard-nosed runner. Here's another direct snap to Kelsey Jr. Going to go forward again. Has the first down before he's mobbed by Kickapoo at about the Chief 41. So another gain of 6 here. 2 consecutive 6-yard gains for Michael Kelsey Jr. And it's another set of downs. First down and 10.
And this slow, methodical offense of Coach Barkley really starting to maybe wear down the Kickapoo Chiefs. It's been a long, grueling game. You can only get blocked by Nico Fow so much before it starts to show.
Next play on the way. Run up the middle again. Flag on the play. Came in right at the tail end. Would have been a gain of about 4. But we'll see where the flag comes in. We'll see where it goes. No indication just yet. It'll be holding against Waynesville. Some nice positive momentum for Waynesville, but unfortunately the penalty is going to bring them back to around midfield and actually back into their own territory. It was a flag well back into the backfield. That's the last place you want to commit a holding penalty. You'll lose lots of yards that way.
You're absolutely right. That is tough. And we talked about a little bit ago maybe starting to turn to the pass eventually on this drive. I think this is where you're going to see it, and sure enough, Barkley has his guys lined up in a widespread coverage.
Yeah, they're going to go back to the air here for sure. We've only seen him pass out of this formation. 3 wide receivers right. Vernon in some trouble. He's going to be sacked. They're going to lose even more yardage. This penalty has really taken the wind out of Waynesville's sails a bit, as Vernon did not have much of a chance there. The pocket collapsing very, very quickly. Although they'll wave off the flag. So there was a flag. They're going to wave it off, which means it will be another loss of about 1. Vernon did reach it out, but ultimately does still lose a yard. And it'll be third down. No, excuse me. How about second down and 21 to go?
And good job on Vernon. That play could have gone for some serious negative yardage, but he was able to move up in the pocket quite well. Still a negative gain, but not as bad.
Now it's going to be Godwin who looks to go to the air, rolling out to his right, trying to find a man on the sideline. Ball's tipped in. Is it still going to be caught? Not the intended receiver, but did he catch it? Yes, he did.
Wow.
That was Josh Betts who made the catch, helping out his teammate. The original intended receiver, that was Dylan Smith. But ultimately, Best makes the catch.
That's one that's definitely tough to call. I'll tell you right now. That is a very weird play, I gotta say. I mean, it works out in Waynesville's favor. Probably not how they drew it up, though.
Gain of 11 on the play means they do get back to the original line of scrimmage. Third down and 10. Ball on the 41-yard line. Still trying to recover from that holding penalty. 2:55 left to go in the third quarter. Direct snap, Chase Thomas Plummer bouncing it to the left, but nowhere to go. Runs horizontally, eventually swept up at the leg. And it'll be 4th down and 10. But really, Waynesville at this point, no choice but to go for it here, down 4 scores late in the third quarter. You got to just start really just gambling a bit.
You absolutely, you got to roll the dice as often as you can right now if you want any hope of getting back into this ball game. I mean, you got to take a risk. What's the difference between 42-0 and 28-0? A loss is a loss, so why not give yourself a chance to win?
Pistol formation, 4 wide receiver set. Vernon going to chuck one down the right sideline. Jump ball. Contact made between receiver and defensive back, but no flags are thrown. And that'll be a turnover on downs. So, Waynesville, the holding penalty there. The first penalty called against Waynesville here today on the offensive side of things. It's a drive killer. It really is.
It certainly is, especially when you're running this wingback offense that Waynesville loves so much. It can produce great yardage and kind of wear the defense out over the course of the game, but whenever you give up these holding penalties, which they've done a great job of not doing so far in the game, but whenever you give them up, it can just kill a drive, and it's the last thing you want to see. Down 4 full touchdowns late in the third.
So the turnover on downs, 2:06 left to go in this third quarter. Mavens back out on the field, but a whistle before the snap. Official going to blow the whistle. And it looks like Mavens trotting off towards the sideline. Looks like it may be a problem with Mavens. Might be a equipment issue. He'll have to bring in the backup here for at least a play as he explores that. He was able to jog off, so clearly not an injury as he was all set to play. But the official noticing something here, so here comes the backup quarterback, Chase Ham.
He's a junior as well as Mabin, 5'9", 155.
Ham takes a snap, going to be a handoff on first down. Another new running back into the ball game. Big bowling ball rolling from our new back as he moves up the middle. That's going to be Keyshawn Young Campbell, 6 foot, 210 pounds.
And he put it all on display right there, running right up the middle. That's one of the best things that you really love to see whenever you get late into these games. The second stringers start to come out and they want to earn their opportunity for more time in the next game. Love to see the intensity.
2nd down and 1 after the gain of 9. Man sent in motion. Ham takes a snap. Another handoff. Shakes off one tackler. May have lost the football. It's still on the ground. Maybe Waynesville having a chance at it, and Waynesville recovers.
And now that's 2 straight drives for the Chiefs that ends in a turnover.
Yeah,
that's something that's definitely going to have to maybe have a big effect on the game throughout the rest of it here. I mean, yeah. Kickapoo Chiefs playing great, safe offense throughout the first half, but right now 2 turnovers in a row, not looking that good.
An interception 2 drives ago. Now a fumble recovery. They've created fumbles tonight, Waynesville have. That was the first one that they were able to recover. So, again, this is a team that Coach Barkley wanted to create turnovers. 2 turnovers here. That's a pretty solid output for the day. But that'll bring the offense back out. We'll see if this time they can drive the ball a little bit further. Last drive ended in turnover on downs. Thomas Plummer on the carry. Again, going to be roped down. Trying to fight through, but eventually he is taken down. Well behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3. And Kickapoo seems to have that jet sweep figured out. Not getting the same results as it did in the first half.
They certainly do. This defense maybe smelling a little bit of blood in the water. They realize that if they can enter the 4th quarter with a 4-score lead, they might have another win under their belt, be back to 500, and back to maybe getting more of the respect that I really believe these Chiefs deserve.
Yeah, again, Kickapoo, a rather tough schedule. Games already against Camdenton and Lebanon. Went over Hillcrest. Here's a ball that's mishandled by Kelsey Jr., and he's going to have to fall on the fumble himself. It's a botched snap, a little bit low, but I'm going to say that was pretty handleable. That might be, well, I think that might be a shared error there on that one. Snap wasn't good, but maybe Kelsey could have had a chance of picking that one up. It's going to be 3rd down and a long, long way to go.
I think you're absolutely right. That one a little low, but whenever you have a guy in the backfield, you expect him to handle those. Not quite able to there, and once again, the Tigers find themselves in deep, deep field position.
Yeah, and so they're going to have to go back to the air. Here's that pistol formation with 3 wide receivers left. We've seen Waynesville like to throw down that sideline, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Going to try to make it a jump ball here for Tyreek Brooks. A little bit of contact, but no flag. It's going to be ultimately good coverage out there on the right sideline. Again, trying to find Brooks. Coverage on the play. It looks like that may have been.
It was number 2.
That was Matt Jones.
Matt Jones, yes, sir.
And that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So after 3 quarters, just 1 touchdown in the 3rd quarter, that being the 90-yard kick return to start things out. Both these teams, a couple turnovers here in this quarter. But we will come back in 60 seconds, our final quarter of play here today. Kickapoo leading Waynesville 28-0. Back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here to start the 4th quarter of action. Going to start out with a punt on 4th down and 21. Good punt through the air. Going to take a nice roll. Is it going to go in the end zone? Just barely into the end zone. Waynesville trying to find their way down. Just about maybe a step away from being able to push that one back out and pinning Kickapoo. But it will be a touchback. That ball took a healthy hop off the first bounce and then just died. Can't blame Campbell for clearing out of that one. But, man, that almost came back to bite him there.
So close. And one thing I've learned as I've kind of grown up, learn about myself, I love a good punt. I'm telling you,
everybody
that gets
does.
Me
you call
hyped up.
You call games on the radio long enough, you learn to appreciate the good punts. Saw an 83-yard punt last season over in JUCO doing Kansas football. That earned him Player of the Week honors.
As it should. I can't even comment. 83 yards.
83 yards. Now, it was into the wind, and it took a very healthy hop, but it was still an 83-yard punt. You'll love to see it. Kickapoo on offense here. Handoff, first down. Jackson Young moving to the left-hand side, eventually roped down, but not before he gets all the way to the 30-yard line. Again, this drive starting on the 20. See where they spot it here. Might be second and short, if not an outright first down, and it looks like it will be second and inches. See Young back in the ballgame here, as is Mabins. It looks like whatever the issue was with Mabins on the previous drive has been rectified. He's back into it here. 11-19 left to go in this fourth quarter of play. 28-0 our score. Waynesville trailing Kickapoo. Back to the pistol we go. One wide receiver in the right. Handoff. Young. Hit in the backfield. Going to be taken down in the backfield. Nice job. J.J. Rodriguez breaking through to make the stop. And it'll be third down and about 3.
Look for this Kickapoo Chiefs offense to just chew as much of the clock as possible. You got a four-score lead right now. You're not looking to drive the ball down the field. You're not looking to pad the lead. Right now, at this point in the game, you're looking to run the clock out and make sure these Tigers don't have enough time to score 4 touchdowns.
10:30 to go now in the ball game. Here's a handoff. Young, he's got some room around the right edge. He's got the first down. Does he have more? Flag on the play as he gets taken down around the 43-yard line of Kickapoo. We'll see where the flag comes out. It was thrown by the back judge. Might be in the area of holding, but we'll have to wait and see here.
Another thing to note on that play, we had one player a little slow to get up. He looks to be back up and moving, though.
Not holding. It's a sideline warning. Once again called against Kickapoo here. So a sideline warning doesn't actually result in the loss of any yards. So they will have the first down as they get to the 43-yard line.
Coach Nate Thomas of the Kickapoo Chiefs. I'm not sure if he was the one who was stepping onto the field there, but he's done a great job tonight.
Well, certainly all the players thought it might have been them. Just a giant group step back. And, you know, playing high school football, you do get excited down there. You know, it's a great, fun game. You want to get as close to the action as possible, and then you find yourself standing on the field. You can't do that. That's 11 men on the field. That's 12 men on the field, excuse me. Here's a handoff to Young. Good cut back. He's got room up the middle. He's going to juke out at the 40. Still on his feet as he crosses the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. One more cut. Back to the 10, the 5. He trips up and he lost the football, but did Kickapoo recover or did they say he was down? I think they're going to say he was down.
I think
that's actually a better result here for Waynesville.
It is, because he was standing right in the end zone with the football. They are going to say he's down, I believe, though, but still not the play you wanted if you were Waynesville. That's going to put the Kickapoo Chiefs down at the 1-yard line. Very difficult to keep this from a 5-score game now.
Yeah, actually lost the football when he fell down. There was another Kickapoo Chief just kind of standing on the goal line in the same spot. I don't even know if he knew he had the football until he had it in his hands. But it's going to be first down and goal on the 1. Ball did hit the turf. That was what caused the fumble, by the way. Handoff. Young tripped up. Going to lose some yards. Back to the 4. So now it's Waynesville's turn to try to make a goal line stand. First play, pretty solid effort. And they lose 3. Now it's going to be second and goal from the 4.
Yeah, and Young kind of tried to run the same play there. He was going to the left side of the offensive line, tried to cut it back to the right side. This time the Tigers were ready. They were there for it, and they were able to stop it.
So second and 4, now under 9 minutes to go. Again, Kickapoo limited to just a kick return touchdown in the third quarter. Haven't scored an offensive touchdown since a minute before the first half. But it is second down and 4. Campbell sent in motion to the left side. 2 backs in the backfield. Maven's going to take the snap. Hands it off to Campbell, moving to his right. Going to be hit at the goal line, but he's able to keep himself on his feet and trot in for the 4-yard touchdown. 34-0 in favor of Kickapoo.
Definitely not what you want to see there. That is going to be 34 after the point after. I believe that is a turbo clock scenario.
Yeah, it will be turbo clock here after the PAT, which means Waynesville will not have a whole lot of time to get on down that field. But of course, that is pending the PAT. Brown has been perfect. Bryce Brown has been perfect on his PAT tries today. Kick is up and away. Waynesville almost got a hand on it, but it does sail through the uprights, and there'll be a 35-0 score. So 35-0 after the 4-yard touchdown run. Sean Campbell, his second touchdown of the half. He was the one who had that kick return a little bit earlier. And again, Waynesville finds himself trailing deep here early, or I should say deep into this one. 35-0 your score, back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Nice return once again for Brandon Howard as we get back to action. 35-0 our score. The turbo clock now in effect. Of course, 35 points after the second half starts. That is the mo for the turbo clock. Last touchdown here for Kickapoo, a 4-yard touchdown run for Sean Campbell, his second touchdown of the half. The first being the 90-yard kick return. And again, we'll see if Waynesville can't march down the field. You might remember last week, Garrett, it was this exact moment, a 35-point deficit, that Waynesville was able to march down the field and pick up the score. So no time to give up just yet. That clock may be running, but this is a time where you start running some plays and just hammering things out for next week's matchup. Here's a direct snap. Michael Kelsey Jr. on first down. You get about 2 or 3 yards. Maybe even 4, as our official indicates. Maybe even about 5. Maybe even about 4.5 was what we'll say. Second down and 5 upcoming. Already now down to 7.5 minutes left to go in this one.
And now it's all about just instilling confidence, maybe later on in the game giving those backups a chance to play, but right now it's just about preparing for next week where Waynesville takes on Lebanon.
Quarterback keeper here on second down. Bishop Godwin finds himself some room, able to follow those big right side offensive linemen forward for about 10 more yards. Has the first down, moves the chains.
And that's something we haven't seen out of Godwin or Vernon all night tonight, is the ability to run the football against the Chiefs defense. He was able to pull it off there.
David Vernon in at quarterback now. He's going to hand it off. Chase Thomas Plummer cutting upfield past the midfield mark into Kickapoo territory. Gain of about 4, 48-48. Second down and 6 now.
And I love Chase Thomas Plummer's ability to kind of pick his spot on those jet sweeps or those long outside runs. A lot of ball carriers try to just go straight to the outside. CTP cuts it inside anytime he wants with success.
Direct snap. Kelsey Jr. now to about the 45 he goes. Gain of 3. Cuts the down and distance in half. Third down and 3 now. 6 minutes to go here in this one. Waynesville showing a sense of urgency here at the moment. They want to get as many plays as possible in with that turbo clock. They want to try to get it going here. It's a matter of pride here at this point. No team wants to get shut out, and especially knowing how close you've gotten here tonight, you want to put some points on the board. David Vernon now, he's got the first down. He's past the 40-yard line of Kickapoo, now down to the 39-yard line. Or it looks like they'll give him the 40. I'm always 1 yard off, even when I think I'm right. 40-yard line, but it is still enough, first down and 10.
It is indeed, and you're absolutely right about a point of pride. A lot of these players, of course they want to win, but I think more than anything, they want to get out there, hit hard, run fast, and they're going to do that no matter what.
Now it's Chase Thomas Plummer playing the halfback position who gets the direct snap. He'll dive down to about the 35-yard line. Chunks and chunks and chunks and chunks. 5 yards, second down and 5. Chunks. It's the word of the day, Garrett. Chunks.
And it is exactly what describes the Waynesville offense. They're going to get not huge chunks, not entire full-on bites, little chunks every once in a while, just moving that football with consistency.
Snap to Vernon. He'll hand it off. Tyreek Brooks on the carry. Gets a couple. They'll bring up another third down. 3rd and 3. Nope, they gave him 1. 3rd and 4. I'm starting to wonder if it's myself or if I've just got the eagle eye up here or if they really are just trying to mess with me because I'm pretty sure he had 2 yards there. No time to think about it, though. 3rd and 4. We'll see what Waynesville has cooking here. I'll be worrying about that on the drive home tonight. Snap to Bishop Godwin, moving off to his right-hand side. He'll have the first down anyway. 3, 4 yards, it doesn't matter. He's got it. 1st down and 10. No, don't give. Okay, they're going to move the chains. I was about to say, that one, for sure, he had enough. I saw where that knee fell. 1st down and 10. Ball on the 29-yard line.
I'm waiting to see your eyes start to twitch every once in a while. Kind of a conspiracy theory going on here, Connor?
It's a conspiracy against me to prove that I need to wear my glasses out to these things. 4:06 left to go. Another direct snap. Chase Thomas Plummer able to slash through into the secondary. He's got himself a gain of about 11. And that'll move the chains. 1st down and 10 once again. Back to the red zone comes Waynesville. 19-yard line will place that ball at.
Not a whole lot of success so far for the Tigers in the red zone, or really in any part of scoring opportunities so far tonight. A chance to change that, though, and like you said, you never want to get shut out.
1st down and 10. Ball on the 19 with 3.5 to go. Reverse back the other direction. Flag on the play. Thomas Plummer, though, going to be swallowed up behind the line for a loss of about 2. We'll see where that flag comes in, though. And the time's going to keep ticking even through this penalty. So, going to lose a little bit of time here. But what is the flag? Our officials talking things over, as they are going to stop the clock while they talk things over. Stopped at 3:16. And it's going to be false start. Well, I'm not sure what they just marked there, but they're going to give it the loss of 2. Indicate it was against Waynesville, but it just results in a 2nd down and 12 anyway, so not quite sure what that one was. Maybe a penalty that was declined. No, they're still holding them here, still waiting for the whistle, and we'll get back to it. So, 2nd down and 12 as Thomas Plummer was swallowed up on the previous play. Man in motion, handoff back the other direction. Another flag going to be thrown as Thomas Plummer gets to about the 18. It'll be a gain of 4, but hold on. Again, a flag thrown on the opposite side of the field. Indication is offsides against Kickapoo. So offside's going to be the call.
Waynesville kind of slowing down the tempo now once they've gotten to the red zone. Really want to make sure they execute on these plays because they just haven't been able to so far tonight.
Place the ball on the right hash here. 2nd down and 8 is the mark. Handoff right side. It's Godwin who keeps it. Dives forward to about the 6-yard line. Big gain on 2nd down. That'll be enough to get the 1st down. And Waynesville knocking on the door. They've got 1st down and goal. See if they can't get it done here.
This is absolutely huge to instill confidence into the Waynesville Tigers. You're going up against what might be one of the best teams in all of Missouri. You cannot get shut out the week before.
Handoff, Tyreek Brooks jumps forward, finds his way in, touchdown. Here the Tiger Roar, Waynesville. 7-yard touchdown run, Tyreek Brooks to put some points on the board. That'll cut the lead. Unfortunately, might be a bit too far out, but you do avoid the shutout. You get it onto the board, 35-6.
Tyreek Brooks. One of the first times he has had his hands on the football all night long, and he capitalizes. Look to maybe see him get a few more opportunities in the red zone as the game goes forward and as the season goes forward as well.
2:19 on the clock. Again, that'll freeze the turbo clock. But it's a drive that ultimately takes about 6 minutes off the clock in the process. Waynesville going for 2. Keeping it himself, it's Kelsey Jr. dives in. He's got it. Put another 2 points on the board. So the 2-point conversion cuts the lead to 27. 35-8 your score with 2:19 left to go in this contest. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again to Kickapoo High School. There was offsetting penalties on the 2-point conversion. Took a while to announce it, almost 60 seconds after the fact, but it will ultimately not change anything. It's still 35-8 as we come back to it here. 35-8, Kickapoo trailing Waynesville, how about Waynesville trailing Kickapoo by 27 here in this one. Turbo clock frozen once again as Waynesville does find their way in. A 7-yard touchdown run for Tyreek Brooks to avoid the shutout here today. And so Waynesville going to march back out onto the field. They're set to kick it away. Again, as Waynesville really looks to finish strong. They are going to drop to 1-3 on the season, and they will head into a very tough matchup next week. And of course, we'll get you an update on the Lebanon score, but last I checked, they were not playing tonight. They're playing tomorrow.
They play tomorrow against the Bolivar Liberators. That one's going to be a crazy, crazy game. I'm excited for it, and but I'm not as excited for that game tomorrow as I am for the game next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Next Friday. You don't have to travel, of course.
Of course.
Working for our ever-so-friendly sister stations over in Lebanon. I almost don't know if I need to watch out for you next week. Might be a secret agent. Might be a... I know you'll speak to Lebanon's head coach later on in the week as well. So, on to kick it away, it'll be Mason Wright. And in fact, the offsetting penalties, the worst one was against Waynesville, by the way. So, it didn't affect the 2-point conversion, but it does mean that Wright will be kicking away from his own 25-yard line. Quite the penalty there. But Wright set to kick.
He's got a good leg, though.
He does, and it's up and away. Solid distance, bounces around the 29, takes a hop back, going to be picked up, but fair catch was called. And so, Sam Johnson giving the fair catch sign, maybe a little bit confused, thought maybe he didn't, but he definitely did down there. And so, Kickapoo will come back out here to take over on the, it'll be the 31-yard line. So we'll see the personnel that Kickapoo sends out here for this latest drive, and it looks like they will go ahead and go a little bit deeper into the depth chart as well. Back out onto the field, that'll be Chase Ham, as well as that big running back in Keshawn Young Campbell. Young Campbell, a senior, by the way, as well. Again, very experienced squad, this Kickapoo team. 23 seniors. As Young Campbell does take the handoff. Gets through into the secondary, still on his feet, spins past the 40, all the way down to about the 45-yard line before he's eventually roped down here. First down and 10 for Kickapoo.
And after seeing that run, I'm surprised this is one of the few times we've seen him in this ball game. I mean, he can pound through a defensive line like almost no other high school running back. That was very impressive. And of course, when you're 6 foot tall and 210, that's a skill set that's available to you.
Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers each side, now under 2 minutes to go. Another handoff here. No, fake and a keep. A very nice fake for Ham. He's got some room. He's going to slide in about the 35-yard line. Going to protect himself there. Very nice slide as well. Very baseball-esque. But another big gain on a very good fake. Even got me up here in the booth, Garrett.
It certainly did. It got me as well. We don't really know a whole lot about Ham right now, but I'll tell you what, Chase Ham, he can run the football. He showed it right there. And like you said, a beautiful slide. That is textbook sliding right there from your quarterback.
So that'll be a gain of 20 on the play. First down and 10 from the 35, and now it looks like Kickapoo is just going to line up in the victory formation. So they're going to take the knee. Well, going to take a few steps back, then take the knee. Waynesville bursting through the line, maybe spooked Ham a bit there, but he is eventually going to get down onto the knee, and so the clock will run. So Waynesville, unfortunately, falls to 1-3 on the season. Kickapoo, of course, they'll get back to 500, and we'll get set for a matchup with Lebanon next week. But make sure you stick around here for the post game. We'll go ahead and take ourselves a very short timeout. We'll give Garrett some time to put those numbers together. We'll come back. We'll go over your scoring summary once again. We'll go over some scores from around the area. I did check the website. It is up and running, the website I get all my scores from, so we'll be able to kind of update you on what to expect. Some, like I said, scores from the district and the conference as well. You had some good games in the district and the conference as well here today. You also had a couple blowouts in the conference as well. But we'll check on all that. We'll check on some state-ranked teams as well from around Southwest Kansas. Maybe we can check Southwest Kansas if you want. Dodge City, I know they're probably playing tonight. But either way, we'll check on all of that. But again, your final score here tonight, Waynesville falls to Kickapoo 35-8. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves actually, let's make it 60 seconds. We'll come back here in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Kickapoo High School. This one is in the books. Unfortunately, Waynesville falls short here tonight. They fall to the Kickapoo Chiefs 35-8. It's Connor Harbin here with you once again as we start our post-game coverage. Garrett, he's working on the stats to my left. We'll have him join us very, very shortly. But, of course, we'll go over your scoring summary. First and foremost, in today's ball game, Kickapoo, they got going very early on in the contest, just 5 minutes into the first quarter, after Waynesville saw their first drive stall out on the 5th play of the drive for Kickapoo. They found a 50-yard touchdown pass. Kylan Mabins finding his target, Sam Johnson, up the right sideline. After the PAT, that made it 7-0. Just 3 minutes later, a little bit over 3 minutes later, after another failed Waynesville drive, a turnover on downs that gave the Chiefs very, very good field position. It was actually just a one-play drive, 41 yards. Mabins to Cale McCarville, this time up the left sideline. Again, another PAT made it 14-0. Of course, just before the end of the first half, after a long delay between scores, it would be Mabins to McCarville once again. A 99-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 26-yard touchdown pass from Mabins to McCarville. And that is how we headed into the locker rooms with a 21-0 score. We didn't get much time before we saw our first scoring play of the second half, the kickoff, the initial kickoff. Waynesville kicking away. It was Sean Campbell who took the football 90 yards to put Kickapoo up 28-0. And then 3 minutes later, we get that turbo clock started. Excuse me. Nope, that wouldn't be the right way to put that. As actually it would be in the fourth quarter. We'd see the turbo clock started after a 4-yard touchdown run for Campbell once again. One of 2 touchdowns for Campbell there on the day. But of course, Waynesville, they would avoid the shutout in a drive that took 6 minutes to complete. It was capped off by a 7-yard touchdown run, Tyreek Brooks, with 2:19 left to go in the fourth. That put the final score at what it was here tonight, 35-8. So 35-8 your final score here today as we go ahead and take a look at some scores from around the region. Again, some of these may be finals, some of these may be a little bit behind, but we will go ahead and give you what we've got. And of course, well, nope, there it is. It loaded in, so we'll go ahead and go over some of the scores here today. Ranked matchups first and foremost. Number 1 Lamar taking on number 5 Seneca. That is a cross-class matchup here today. They are all tied up in the fourth, 21 apiece. So the Lamar Tigers in danger of being knocked off here today by Seneca. That's a game we'll continue to watch maybe a little bit after the fact, after we sign off here today. Joplin taking on Webb City. Here's a game that you didn't have to travel far to see for either side. Joplin, they lead Webb City in this one 24-8. That game being played in the fourth quarter. Here's an exciting score for me and maybe me alone. Nevada, my hometown, in action tonight against the McDonald County Mustangs. They're in danger of being upset. In the third quarter, it's tied at 14 apiece. The Mustangs not ranked on the season, so we'll watch that one develop here as well. Number 4 Nixa taking on district opponent Branson. They win this one tonight 56-10, or at least they're leading this one 56-10. That game most likely going to be played or completed here in just a little bit. An Ozark Conference matchup. West Plains, number 9 in Class 4. They are leading Rolla 28-7 in the fourth quarter. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at some unranked scores as well. Camdenton, they were leading Parkview 49-0 at the half. I'm pretty sure the turbo clock means that game is pretty close to completion, if not already done by now. Glendale leading Hillcrest 46-7. And then, of course, we have the final score here today of 35-8. Kickapoo knocking off Waynesville. So we're going to go ahead and take ourselves one final timeout here. We'll go ahead and make it 60 seconds. I think Garrett is just about ready. We'll come back. We'll give you some final thoughts. And we'll talk about where we're going next week as we're back on the road. A little bit of a shorter road trip next time, but we will be on the road once again. Back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again at Kickapoo High School for the final time. Again, this one is in the books. It was Kickapoo defeating Waynesville 35-8. Here in this one, Waynesville falls to 1-3 on the season, and Kickapoo, they get back to 2-2 here on the year. Connor Harbin here with you. Garrett Bowles as well. Going to send it over to Garrett. He has some final stat totals for you for both Waynesville on the ground and, of course, also a pretty solid day offensively for Kickapoo.
It was indeed. We are, of course, going to start with the Waynesville Tigers right now. We gave you the first half stats. I'll give you the second half, and then, of course, the total game stats for several of the skill position players on the Tiger offense. 52 yards in the second half for Kelsey Jr., Michael Kelsey Jr., that is. He had a great game. He's going to end up as the leading Tiger rusher on the night. Chase Thomas Plummer had a great first half, kind of slowed down in the second, only 28 yards for him. 16 yards combined for the quarterbacks and 19 other rushing yards kind of dispersed throughout the rest of the team there. Of course, one of them, the touchdown run there by Mr. Tyreek Brooks. Can't believe I forgot that name. He's been lighting it up all season. That's going to be a total of Michael Kelsey Jr., 103 yards. I said he had 52 yards in the second half. 51 yards in the first half. Way to keep it consistent there, Mr. Kelsey Jr. Number 18, Chase Thomas Plummer, 74 total yards. The quarterbacks had 33 yards in total on the ground. Of course, that was a big storyline throughout the game of how Kickapoo was able to limit the quarterback run game. But the stats looking pretty good for the rushing totals for Waynesville. 229 yards of total rushing offense. Not a whole lot of passing offense. In fact, 0 passing yards for the Tigers tonight. But it was a very impressive night rushing. Unfortunately, just not able to close a whole lot of drives tonight.
They did have a few passing yards, by the way, as they did have that completion to Josh Bess up the right sideline. So 11 yards total passing there. You were close, but they did have a completed pass. Again, the tip pass. Bess able to haul it in on the right sideline. Probably one of the game's top plays, if I'm being honest for you, Waynesville here tonight. So again, 1-3 on the season, but make sure you tune in next week. We're back on the road. I say we're back on the road. One of us will be on the road. The other will just meet me there. We've got the Lebanon Yellow Jackets next week as Waynesville looks to get back closer to 500, but they're going to have to go through a very tough Lebanon team. Of course, they play Bolivar tomorrow, so we'll have to kind of wait on the results there, but I do know Lebanon is favored in that matchup, so we'll kind of wait and see how that one shakes out. But that'll do it for us here tonight. For everyone back in the studio, I am Connor Harbit. Hope you enjoyed listening to this one, as I enjoyed bringing it to you here tonight. For my partner, Garrett Bowles, until next time, you've been listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Good night, everybody. Be good people.